disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it. That's what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to move to withdraw from the case.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So make sure everybody's aware of that. Okay.
This is not another boring podcast. Mustafa threw the police body cam Judge Carol Weimer under the microscope. Now, I think it's fair to put Mustafa's defense attorney, Brad Haywood, under the microscope. And we're going to have an honest conversation about what Brad Haywood is doing in the Mustafa Aljazairi case. Brad Haywood has been Mustafa's lawyer for just about a year now. Now, we're going to talk about the details that are coming out of the Brady motion that Brad Haywood filed in the Mustafa Aljazairi case. And we have a lot of questions for Brad Haywood. Now, it's one thing to say the judge is not impartial in the Mustafa Aljazairi case. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to let this community decide if Judge Carol Weimer is impartial. I'm going to let this community decide if Brad Haywood is working for Mustafa. Is he working for Mustafa? The community is going to decide. There are details that are coming out of this case. The body cam that Commonwealth Amy Ashford sealed is now all over the internet. The file, the document is all over the internet. This community is going to be watching the details that are coming out of the Mustafa Aljazairi case and is going to decide, is Brad Haywood working for Mustafa? Now, we just got done visiting Mustafa. Mustafa is hanging in there. Mustafa was beaten up by a correctional officer inside this jail. We have a CCTV video where Mustafa was carried unconscious from one cell into another cell. We have pictures of his injuries. And since Mustafa has not gotten medical, so he is slowly deteriorating, but he is hanging in there. I want to thank the nice correctional officer that was sitting at the front desk. We went in, we saw Mustafa. I want to thank her for her service. I want to thank Muhammad for being on this podcast. Muhammad, thank you for being here.
Thank you. It takes a lot, making time to come out here in the freezing cold and talk about this corruption and this injustice that is playing right before our very own eyes. So thank you for having me.
We're frustrated. We're upset. There are details that are coming out of this case that are not making any sense. Now, Mustafa's defense attorney, Brad Haywood, filed a Brady motion. And on the record, the prosecutor Sarah Sammy, lied on the record, flat out lied. This is not up for debate. The transcript is there, and prosecutor Sarah Sammy has been lying for 2.5 years, and she continued to lie on the record. Now, unfortunately for this prosecutor, we can check her in real time. The days, those days where the file's been sealed, those days are far gone. It's over. Those body cams are on the internet, and the documents are on the internet. When the prosecutor in real time, in court, lie, we can verify if she's lying or not. Now, the problem I have is when this prosecutor lie and Mustafa's defense attorney lets it go, let her get away with lying, that's a huge problem. The prosecutor said that the independent expert was allowed to reconstruct the vehicle. That's on the record. Now, I have a body cam that show
Drum, specifically.
Investigator Drum said to the independent expert, you are not allowed to touch the vehicle. So where is Mustafa's lawyer from telling Judge Carol Weimer that, Your Honor, I have a body cam that this prosecutor
instructed the investigator. Yeah.
Instructed the investigator
flat out
to not allow to reconstruct this vehicle. Brad Haywood didn't do that. As a matter of fact, Brad Haywood said, I'm satisfied with the independent expert work. What does that mean?
Which, by the way, nobody knows what his work was because we haven't gotten a report. It took Blake Weiner to argue in court to the judge that Casey Stevens is withholding Stephen Keen's report. That Stephen Keen is the independent expert that you paid $5,000 to go in and inspect the car. And on body cam, we see they did not allow him to inspect the car. Robert Drum specifically says, word for word, Sammy said you are not allowed to touch this vehicle. And the expert says, well, how can I check the brakes? How can I take the tires off? And he says, nope, you are not allowed to touch the car in any way, shape, or form. Because according to Robert Drum, Sarah Sammy doesn't want anybody manipulating the car that they've already crushed, that they've already chopped up, that they've already destroyed. That car, he says she doesn't want anybody manipulating it. How can you not manipulate something that the police department has already crushed?
So
they've already chopped it up.
They crush and stage the vehicle, and the police department doesn't have a reason, a good enough reason, why they crushed the vehicle. I mean, on body cam, they say the only reason we crushed the vehicle, we had the fire department chop up the roof, crush the vehicle, roll the vehicle forward is to get the ACM. Wait a minute, I have pictures of the vehicle at the scene that the vehicle was not caved in. You had access to the ACM. There is no warrant. By the way, there is no signed warrant to get the ACM. So they crush the vehicle and stage it, and then the independent expert comes in, they remove the original scan, the Leica scan, they scan the vehicle at the scene, they scan the SUV, but they remove that scan. The independent expert scans the vehicle, but by the way, he didn't scan the SUV. He only scanned Mustafa'S vehicle, the vehicle that they already crushed. How does that make any sense?
It does not make any sense.
I mean, my problem is...
what he scanned is the portion that they have already chopped up. That's what he scanned. So the computer doesn't know that the police chopped up this car. I mean, think about it. This expert came in, he scanned the car that the police had already crushed. With no good reason, by the way. No good reason for them to crush it.
And the fact that Mustafa's defense attorney is not putting a motion to dismiss, the police department literally crushed Mustafa's vehicle. It's crushed evidence, crushed and staged it. Where is Mustafa's defense from putting a motion to dismiss? Now, Mustafa's defense attorney, he says he's satisfied with the independent expert work. Which work?
Satisfied with
how?
What exactly?
How? I mean, that's one thing that we're going to get into. Mustafa's defense attorney.
Well, I prepared a statement.
Well, before you go into the statement, I want to put a couple of bullet points that we want to talk about. The judge, the presiding judge in the Mustafa Aljazairi case, 4 weeks ago, ordered that Mustafa's vehicle get reconstructed. That's on the books. That's on the record. That's 4 weeks ago. The presiding judge, Judge Carol Weimer, ordered that the SD card in Mustafa's dash camera that the police department is in possession of get extracted because the officer that took possession of the dash camera admitted to tampering with the dash camera. Now, evidence in the case file showed that Officer Zymuth admit that this dash camera does have audio. There is missing footage from this dash camera. It cuts off before impact. This dash camera that's in the police department server doesn't have audio, but then you have digital forensic admit that it has audio.
And it's questionable. It's questionable what Chad Mason said on the stand on October 31st, 2024. He says that Sarah Sammy is the one that told him there's no audio. How can the prosecutor tell the police, who, by the way, the police are, the chain of custody gives the police, they're holding this evidence. This dash cam is in the custody of the police department. Yet you have Chad Mason on the stand tell the courts that Sarah Sammy told him there's no audio. And then a few minutes later, he changes his statement. By the way, he's under oath. And he tells the courts again that this time he says he was the one that notified Sarah Sammy there's no audio on the dash camera. He's the one. So, again, which one is it? Did the prosecutor instruct you to put in the report that there's no audio, or did you tell this prosecutor?
Absolutely.
And we don't know because he said both of them in the same hearing.
So wait a minute. He notified the Commonwealth attorney that he violated the chain of custody, department policy. He said he notified her without getting a warrant.
And she had no problem with it.
So what communication took place between Chad Mason and the prosecutor and Sarah Sammy? Now,
it's a very good question.
4 weeks ago, and we're going to get into the details of the dash camera. So 4 weeks ago, the judge ordered the reconstruction of the vehicle, the extraction of the SD cards, and the government put money, almost $100,000, they paid Mustafa's defense attorney, Brad Haywood. Now, in what world does this make sense? That this is 4 weeks ago.
I mean, it's October 26th. It's October 26th.
It's been 4 weeks.
And the judge gave that order towards the end of September. So it's been at least 5 weeks.
So why is Mustafa's defense attorney, Brad Haywood, not updating Mustafa on the extraction of the SD card?
Why do we not have answers till today?
The reconstruction of the vehicle. Instead, he wants to bring in a psychiatrist and have her sit down with Mustafa. Wait a minute. So last time I checked, this was a car accident. It should be an open and shut case for the prosecutor. You want to find out if this is a car accident, you reconstruct the vehicle. But what we have, 2.5 years ago, there's a judge order to reconstruct the car accident, but the prosecutor on body cam is heard. Investigator Robert Drum says the prosecutor, Sarah Sammy, said, you cannot reconstruct this vehicle. Wait a minute.
This is a car accident after all, isn't it?
So wait a minute. Is Brad Haywood working for Mustafa? I mean, when you're literally avoiding what you literally have a judge order 4 weeks ago that you were to reconstruct the vehicle, and the government gave you money to hire an independent expert to reconstruct the vehicle.
Where are the results?
Where are the results? Why is Mustafa
still in the dark?
Kept in the dark. I mean, I get a call from Mustafa. You haven't updated Mustafa on the reconstruction of the vehicle. You haven't updated the Mustafa on the extraction of the SD card. But you want to give him a fucking psychiatrist? I mean, what is really going on here? Are you making a deal with the prosecutor that the only way you can save, the prosecutor can save her skin by writing Mustafa off as incompetent? Is that what you're trying to do here?
We're going to get into all that today. Okay, we're going to get into it.
I'm really upset because the details that are coming out of this case stinks. Okay, I'm doing my best to have a good relationship with the lawyer, Mustafa's defense attorney. We are doing our best, but when the details stink and it doesn't make sense, we're gonna have to have a conversation about it.
Look, in today's podcast, okay, we uncovered the shocking details behind Mustafa Aljazairi's case, a case that many legal observers now say has been completely falsified through manipulation, withheld evidence, and a devastating breach of public trust. Reports and documentations suggest that crucial physical evidence, the very kind that could have proven Mustafa's innocence, was intentionally destroyed. Okay? It was mishandled by law enforcement, leaving behind serious constitutional concerns and unanswered questions. When police or prosecutors conceal or destroy evidence, it's not just a procedural mistake, okay? It's a Brady violation, a direct violation of Mustafa's due process under the Constitution. The Brady rule demands that all evidence favorable to the defense must be disclosed. When that principle is ignored, the possibility of a fair trial disappears. If evidence was falsified, or if officers destroyed data essential to investigating the truth, then justice itself has been obstructed. When the integrity of the entire case is in question. Okay? So today's episode, we ask the hard questions that mainstream media and outlets are avoiding. How can Mustafa receive a fair trial after the destruction of exculpatory evidence? What legal remedies exist when authorities commit proven misconduct? Where is Mustafa's defense team in challenging these violations? And what are their next strategic steps? How should the justice system respond when its own officers break the law that they are sworn to uphold? So today we're going to break down the timeline. We're going to discuss missing data and witness inconsistencies. We're going to explore the potential legal recourse available when prosecutorial and investigative misconduct crosses the line. Okay, this is more than a single case. It's a wake-up call about the fragility of justice in a system that must be transparent, accountable, and fair to every citizen. Okay? Now, having said that, there's a statement that Judge Carol Weimer made in this last hearing. Okay? The statement he made should shock this whole community. It should shock everyone looking at this case and other cases that this judge is presiding over. Because he made a statement that I can't believe he said it on the record. He said, when the investigators go in to examine Mustafa's dash camera and to retrieve the audio that the prosecutor and police have hid for 2.5 years, he specifically instructed all parties in court that this information should be withheld from the public. Specifically, in his own words, this information should be withheld from the family. Now, he's not saying don't give the family this information. He's saying we should contain, we as in the court system, the prosecutors and the police, should contain the audio that comes out from this dash camera. Now, when you analyze what's going on in this case, the prosecutor has already gone on the record and stated that Mustafa was arguing, and because he was arguing, he drove his vehicle into oncoming traffic. That's what the prosecutor says. Now, prosecutors have gone out and gotten a lip reader to back up their claim. Bruce Safinsky out of Richmond, Virginia. They went and got a Lucy Guarinera, a psychologist, to write up a 30-page paper on how Mustafa committed this crime. So they've really put their foot down after concealing this audio. And now today, 2.5 years later, when we're finally going to get the audio that's going to show that there was no argument in the car,
the file gets leaked.
the judge says the family is not to be told, nobody is to be told what this audio shows. Why? Why not be transparent with the community?
The file gets leaked.
Why not?
The file gets leaked. And in the case file, there is literally a document by digital forensic that this dash camera does have audio. And all of a sudden, money is being pumped into this case. The judge literally ordered that the SD card gets extracted because the community is asking questions. You have Chad Mason take the stand, and he said, I violated department policy. This dash camera doesn't have audio. What's in the server in the police department, a dash camera that does not have audio. Literally, Julie Carey on NBC4 said Commonwealth Amy Ashworth says this dash camera does not have audio. And you can check with NBC4. It's all over the news. Now, in the case file, a document that's released, that's sealed, and now it's leaked. Digital forensic admit that this dash camera does have audio. So wait a minute. On the stand, Chad Mason admitted to violating department policy, that he took possession of this dash camera, he took it back to his vehicle, notified the Commonwealth attorney, so she is aware that he's violating department policy. He said, she told me it doesn't have audio, and then turns around and says, I told her it doesn't have audio. How does that make sense? What are you talking about?
He's under oath. Which one is it?
And he uploaded this dash camera up to the server. Wait a minute. Today we have a dash camera that has no audio. It's cut before impact, and there are 17 frames missing from the camera facing inside the vehicle.
But digital forensics tells us there is audio. So,
exactly.
This is your house. Commonwealth Amy Ashworth. This is your house. This is your police department. You have an officer that says no audio. You have your digital forensics that say there is audio. And you have a prosecutor who's instructing and coaching the police officer on how to conceal this audio.
During a Brady motion, prosecutor Sarah Sammy told the judge, Your Honor, I want to have my independent expert to inspect the SD card. This was the other day.
Just the other day,
2 weeks ago. Mustafa's defense attorney, Brad Hayward, says, I'm going to hire an independent expert, Your Honor, and they granted him money for the independent expert, the government. Now, prosecutor Sarah Sammy gets up and says, Your Honor, I want to have my independent expert there too.
So where has she been for the past 2.5 years that today she wants to bring in her ex? I thought she already cemented her foot into the ground saying there is no audio and that Mustafa was arguing. She got a lip reader.
A bigger problem
She got a psychologist.
A bigger problem
I mean, come on now.
A bigger problem is when I talked to Mustafa's defense attorney and I asked him, what's the update on the extraction of the SD card? You said the government gave you money and you're hiring an independent expert.
You can't get an honest answer.
You can't get an. I got two different answers in the same exact conversation. He told me that we're waiting on Doug to go in and extract the SD card. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Isn't Doug the prosecutor's independent expert? And he literally just got telling me that we have to have precaution. We have to make sure that Robert Drum is not there. Chad Mason is not there. Davis is not there to make sure they don't do the same thing they did with Stephen Keene, the independent expert.
Why is the defense relying on the prosecutor's expert?
He's telling me that we're waiting on the prosecutor's independent expert to go in and extract it. And then when I asked him, I said, wait a minute, aren't you hiring your independent experts from Investa?
Didn't the judge grant money for that?
He tells me, wait a minute, and then he tells me, wait a minute, I think he already went in last week. Wait a minute, I just have to check in my email. Which one is it? Wait a minute, you just got done telling me that you have to. So you're telling me your independent expert went in by himself without you? You have to check your email to find out if he went in? What precaution did you take that this police department is not going to influence your independent expert by telling him, Mustafa is a horrible person. This is not a car accident. I mean, we have body cams where these investigators are literally doing their own body cams.
I mean, all they have to do is, whoever this expert is, like now, let's say you're the expert, okay, and I'm the prosecutor. You come in to examine this dash camera, and I tell you, hey, if you get this audio out, you're going to let a murderer walk.
I mean, isn't that what they did with the independent 2.5 years ago
when they did with the expert?
When they were reconstructing the vehicle accident?
It's literally on body cam. You don't have to question it. You don't have to think about it. It's on body cam.
Brad Hayward's position is going to tell you, well, the judge put a protective order, so I can't tell the family. Okay, hold on now. Fuck telling the family. Why are you not updating your client, Mustafa Aljazairi? I mean, why are you leaving him in the dark? You're not telling him if the independent expert went in, when he's going to go in, if you already got it. Why are you not sharing that with Mustafa? And is that not a violation of due process? Instead, the only conversation you have with Mustafa, let's bring you a psychiatrist, Mustafa. I want to have her sit down with you. Wait a minute. Are we talking about Dr. Specker, who she has an affidavit that says this is a car accident, and what I see on dash camera, the dash camera that's available, the cut dash camera, what I have is a cut version, is a camera that doesn't have audio. And she still said this is Mustafa's reaction is consistent with someone that's reacting to a car accident. Wait a minute. So all of a sudden, $18,000 gets pumped into the case by the government. You want to remove the affidavit. It's a fucking affidavit. And you want to have her sit down with Mustafa again and write a report about Mustafa? Are you paying the psychiatrist to write you a falsified report? I mean, what is really going on? So you're avoiding the reconstruction of the vehicle accident. You're avoiding the extraction of the SD card, and now you're bringing in a psychiatrist. What are you doing here? Like,
let me ask you this.
I'm trying my best to be objective, to have a good relationship with Mustafa's defense attorney, but you're leaving me in a corner where I have to look at you like you're working for the fucking prosecutor.
Let me ask you this.
Does that make sense?
Let me ask you this. We're talking about psychiatrist Speckard, right? Mm-hmm. So Speckard was brought in by Blake Weiner,
Mustafa's previous defense
attorney. Okay. And when Blake Weiner, in a motion asking for more funds, he asked Judge Weimer, I want $5,000 for Speckard to come in and testify in the trial, because Mustafa was coming up on trial, and Blake asked Judge Weimer for $5,000 for Speckard. Judge Weimer, specifically, because I was there, I heard it, it's in the transcript, he said, I'm not giving you $5,000 for Speckard. I'll give you $5,000 for any other expert, but not Speckard.
Yep, that's right.
And when questioned Why? Why not? Judge Weimer wouldn't give an answer, but he said, you are not getting paid for Speckard. I'm not paying for Speckard.
But now they're giving her $18,000.
Hold on a second. So now today, we have the same judge, and he's giving $18,000 to Speckard. So the question is, why did you deny $5,000 to Speckard? There was all these objections for by the way, the objection was not for the $5,000. The objection was specifically Speckard. The prosecutor and the judge did not want Speckard to come into this case. Now, all of a sudden, Judge Weimer is what? He's having a change of heart, and he's giving her, not $5,000, he's giving her $18,000.
And they're not talking about the extraction of the SD card. They're not talking about the reconstruction of the vehicle.
So I find it questionable. Did anyone from the prosecutor's side, did the judge reach out to Speckard? Did they make a backdoor deal with Speckard that all of a sudden now Mustafa's defense is saying she has to meet with him? Why does she listen. She didn't have to meet with him back then. He was going to trial within 3 weeks.
I think we should put the file being leaked in perspective. I mean, what has this prosecutor said about Mustafa? She's charging Mustafa with murder, right? She says this Mustafa murdered his girlfriend and the 5-year-old baby. That's what she said.
By the way, she's charging him with accidental murder, and then there's a charge with premeditated murder. So she's charging him with both at the same time.
How is that possible?
How is that possible? How could your allegation be that you accidentally murdered this woman? At the same time, I'm charging you with intentionally murdering this woman.
She's been telling Judge Weimer for 2.5 years that she has witnesses that will come forward and testify that Mustafa premeditated this murder. That's what she's been telling the judge. And then all of a sudden, the file gets leaked on the internet. Every body cam show that every single person that the prosecutor is using on body cam tell you we were not there. But they're on body cam making up a story.
Not only were they not there, but they have never met Mustafa. They've never met Mustafa.
So all of a sudden, I mean, after the Brady motion, Mustafa's defense attorney comes out and he tells me, Amar, you know what I'm going to try to do with the prosecutor? I'm going to have her, I'm going to file something in the court where we can lower it from murder 1 to, what's the lower one? Murder 2?
Second degree murder.
Second degree murder. I'm going to try to lower it to from murder 1 to second degree murder.
Why?
I'm like, why? I mean, this prosecutor literally shot herself in the leg. She was comfortable because the file is sealed. She thought she can just say whatever she wants. I mean, if it wasn't for the file,
coach witnesses, they were going to manipulate witness evidence. They're going to exclude crucial evidence that you don't know about because they've sealed the file. Mustafa doesn't know about because he's sitting in solitary confinement.
What if I tell you Mustafa's defense attorney doesn't want to lower it to second degree murder? He wants to lower it to manslaughter. And what they want, I mean, this is the prosecutors are terrified. They're scrambling. So what do? They go to Mustafa's defense attorney and tell him, we can't come out and say that we want to charge Mustafa with manslaughter because we've already shot ourselves in the leg in front of this community. We've been telling them this is murder.
Well, we want you. That.
They've already dismissed it. But they want your own lawyer to say, I want to file that this case is lower to manslaughter. And what do they want to do? I mean, here's the details that's coming out of this case. The reconstruction is going to show that this is a car accident. The dash camera, the audio is there, and the full dash camera is there. It's going to show that Mustafa did everything he can to avoid it. And there is no argument. Now, what they want to do is they want to look the other way, avoid the reconstruction, avoid the extraction of the SD card, and they want to bring in a psychiatrist, write Mustafa off as incompetent, that he has some kind of mental issue.
It's not a theory, by the way. That what you're saying right now,
yeah.
What you're saying about
the only way, yeah,
it's not a theory. It's on body cam. Robert Drum and Casey Stevens and Mallet, who's in the background, are all conspiring to bring in a psychiatrist who's going to sign off on the dotted line of whatever the police department wants, whatever Sarah Sammy wants this psychiatrist to say. She's going to say it, and she's going to sign on the dotted line. Essentially, the prosecutor is going to write up a statement, and their psychiatrist is going to come in and sign off.
So the only way this prosecutor can save herself from lying for 2.5 years about this case, that they can bring in a psychiatrist and say, This is involuntary manslaughter. Don't worry about the reconstruction. Don't worry about the dash camera. Don't worry about the Google Nest video that shows, I mean, the details show. By the way, you can't charge him with involuntary manslaughter because literally this is a car accident. He's not speeding. He's not on drugs. He's not on alcohol. He did everything he can to avoid a vehicle accident.
And the other vehicle turned into him.
His foot is on the brake the whole entire time. He clears every vehicle, makes it to the fourth lane. The SUV literally turns into the fourth lane. Never hit the brake. She's speeding. Literally turns into Mustafa, into the fourth lane. Wait a minute. So you've been saying that this is murder for 2.5 years, and now Google Nest video showed that he loves his family. The dash camera that does not have audio literally shows Mustafa and Dorothy passing back and forth a cigarette 6 times. There is no argument inside the vehicle. At a 7-Eleven, before the accident, literally 5 minutes before the car accident, he's buying a pack of cigarette. His girlfriend had cash apped him money. He bought 5-year-old Empress a piece of candy. On CCTV video from 7-Eleven, you literally see him washing the car.
For 10 minutes.
For 10 minutes. Removing pollen off the top of the vehicle. Around April, there is a lot of pollen. So he's literally removing pollen off top of the hood, removing pollen off the vehicle.
Off the roof of the car, the windows.
Details show
he's cleaning the car.
He's not wearing a fucking seatbelt. So...
You want to tell me somebody who's about to end his life is worried about saving $1 off of a pack of cigarettes? He's buying Empress, the 5-year-old candy. He's cleaning his car. He's filling up his car with gas. At the apartment, he's making sure the lights are turned off.
Oh, that's right. The electricity bill is in his name.
And he's turning off the lights.
On Google Nest video, it shows that he was turning off the lights right before he got out.
At what point is the prosecutor claiming that he premeditated this murder? At what point?
So they seal off the case. They bring in individuals that they coach. And literally when the case gets unsealed, you see body cams where these individuals are literally telling you, everything that we're telling you, we didn't see it. We weren't there. Now,
I mean, you want to talk about police tampering with witnesses? You have Robert Drum, you have Rob Davis, okay? You have Casey Fines specifically instructing witnesses on what to say. They are instructing the witness on what to say in their testimony and their statements.
Mustafa's due process.
How is that not tampering with witnesses? You have body cam on body cam of the police literally telling witnesses what to say. I mean, let's take an example of Elizabeth Lee. She tells Robert Drum, I saw him hit the brake. I saw his car hit the brake. I saw his skid marks.
He tells her, I'm going to play that Elizabeth Lee for you.
You should.
He tells her, those are not Mustafa's skid marks.
He never hit the brake.
And she asked him, was he on drugs? There's a toxicology of Mustafa. No alcohol, no drugs. Robert Drum tells her, by the way, Robert Drum already has a toxicology.
He already had the toxicology
He tells her, we're still checking off boxes. He's trying to give her the impression that Mustafa is on drugs.
He's literally telling her that Mustafa's on drugs.
On the scene, Robert Drum is telling other police officers that Mustafa's on drugs. Wait a minute.
When the primary investigator...
The warrant is fucking falsified. I mean, I find it interesting that the warrant is falsified.
Not only is it falsified, by the way, it's not signed by a judge. It's not signed by a magistrate. And his affidavit to the warrant is false. I mean, we have all the body cams, minus the one that they clipped off. But Robert Drum specifically says that he talked to Mustafa on the scene.
He never talked to Mustafa. I have the body cam. He never made contact with Mustafa.
And the truth of the matter is, Robert Drum never made contact with Mustafa. So he falsified what he said in that warrant.
He falsified what the witness told him? The witness is an off-duty...
Why don't you pull it up? You should pull it up.
Okay.
Pull it up. Where he says he talked to Mustafa. I mean, there's a whole paragraph.
You want me to pull up the warrant?
Pull up the warrant. There's a whole paragraph about Robert Drum and his alleged interaction with Mustafa. And it's not real. It's not real. He made it up. He made it up. Flat out. I mean, how do you just make up your own interaction with someone
He falsified the warrant. He falsified the witness statement.
Let me pull that up on the screen.
Literally, the witness is an off-duty paramedic that tells him Mustafa is dealing with a concussion. Mustafa believes that he's in 2021.
Can you zoom in on this?
Obama is the president. Yeah. Obama is the president. Is that good?
Yeah, I haven't put it up yet, but let me see.
He said Obama is the president.
You just moved to another one.
Mustafa tells the off-duty paramedic tells Robert Drum that Mustafa believes that he's in 2021. Obama is the president, and he literally tells him Mustafa is dealing with a concussion. Robert Drum turns around, and then he says, the off-duty paramedic told me that Mustafa's on drugs. You literally I have the body cam where you literally falsified the witness statement. Now, I find it interesting that Robert Drum's
Let me pull this up.
body cam is... Did you know that it's cut?
Can you pause this? Why is it going?
I can pause it.
Okay, pause it. Pause it.
Robert Drum's body cam that's uploaded to the server has been edited. They uploaded an edited version of the police department, uploaded an edited version of Robert Drum's body cam. They literally took portions of Robert Drum's body cam out of this file. Now, I find it interesting that when Robert Drum makes contact with Chad Mason is seen around Mustafa's vehicle. Immediately, that body cam gets cut. 15 minutes later, that body cam shows up. There's 2 body cams in the file. And then they cut the portion when he's making contact with Chad Mason. Well, Chad Mason is the officer that took the stand, and he said, I took Mustafa's dash camera. Mustafa's dash camera wire is cut. I took it back to my car, violated department policy, violated the chain of custody. What he was supposed to do is give it to digital forensic. Instead, he took it back to his car, downloaded the file off the dash camera, sat on them for 2 days, got a warrant 2 days later. Well, now the dash camera doesn't have audio and is cut before impact. And there are 17 frames missing from the inside of the vehicle. Well, Chad Mason also said that I notified the Commonwealth attorney, the prosecutor. Wait a minute. As soon as you took it off the vehicle, you notified her that you violated the chain of custody? What communication took place between you and the prosecutor when you took possession of the dash camera?
They basically agreed that they're going to say there's no audio. That's what they're going to do. They're going to seal off the file, and they're going to say there's no audio. So they coordinated their lie, and that's why you have 809 pages of discovery, and not a single page says there's no audio. It's never in black and white. They only say it in court because they want to make sure they have an exit ramp for if this lie ever gets uncovered. If, for whatever reason, the family gets to log into Mustafa's iCloud and obtain the original dash cam footage, and it has audio.
You will literally have a body cam where Robert Drum is calling Rexon, the dash camera, and he's asking, is it possible that anybody can access this dash camera off the cloud?
That's what he's worried
not
about.
asking about the audio.
That's what he's worried about.
He's not asking about the audio.
Is there a copy of this footage anywhere? How does this dash cam work?
And I find it disturbing that the investigator, this is the same investigator that falsified Mustafa's statement, is telling Rexon he's a really bad guy. He killed the mom and her 5-year-old baby. If it's not up to you, we want you, thank you. And then to the point where the guy at Rexon is started telling him, I can't believe there are people out there that exist like this.
He's literally
brainwashing him.
He's manipulating the guy from Rexon, customer service guy, IT support from Rexon. He's manipulating the guy from IT at Rexon.
That's not a bias?
Like, how is that not tampering with witnesses? And then they want to bring this guy into trial to testify against Mustafa.
Can I play that portion for you?
Let's go into this warrant.
Okay. All right.
And then we'll go into what Robert Drum says.
All right.
So let's go into this warrant.
Okay.
This warrant is written by Investigator Drum, badge number 1790. Okay. Now, we look at this warrant, and we can clearly see there's no signature where the judge is supposed to sign. Okay, what is the warrant for? It says 1950 Code of Virginia as amended to wit 18.2-853, reckless driving vehicle not under control. Okay?
How is it reckless if he's not speeding? and he did everything he can to avoid a car accident.
Exactly. So the place,
How is it
person,
reckless?
the place, person, or thing to be searched is described as follows: 2007 Chrysler, black in color, bearing Virginia registration, blah blah blah, VIN number. This vehicle is registered to name, address. The vehicle is located within the Prince William County at the county storage lot located at 14869 Dumfries Road. So the things or person to be searched are as described as follows: vehicle components to include the vehicle airbag, safety belts, computer module, and the data contained within, documents and records to include but not limited to the vehicle manual, vehicle maintenance records and modifications to the vehicle, physical characteristics of the vehicle to include tires, vehicle dimensions, physical vehicle components, video, photographs, glass fragments, and paint samples, vehicle content to include alcoholic beverage containers, narcotics and drug paraphernalia, clothing related to occupant position from the crime of reckless driving. So this is his warrant. By the way, it's
To extract the ACM.
it's not signed and there's no date on it.
To get the computer inside the vehicle, the box, the ACM.
Let's move on to the next.
So wait a minute. So the warrant to get the ACM is not signed.
exactly. Can you go on to the next page?
So you're telling me they go in Mustafa's vehicle, chop up the roof,
Well, here's the lie.
crush the vehicle
Here's the lie. Here's the lie.
without a warrant. I mean, this is not signed.
It's
so
not
they can
signed.
literally put in a document at any time.
At any time and say
After
we had
they-
a warrant. When did you get this warrant? It's not signed.
It's not signed by a judge.
Amar,
This is not a warrant.
That's why prosecutor sealed this file. They sealed this file.
So let's back up a little bit.
I want to read. I want to read his
Mustafa
lies.
wakes up from a coma. He tells investigator Chad Mason, "I don't know what happened. There's something wrong with my car." They immediately go to the vehicle, have the fire department, literally,
And chop up the vehicle.
And chop up the vehicle. They cut the roof, crush the vehicle,
Crush
and
the
their
driver
excuse-
fender.
and their crush the driver fender, and their excuse is to get to the ACM. Well, the problem here is I have picture of the vehicle at the scene. You had access to the ACM.
We
the vehicle was-
showed the video that we went to the junkyard.
The vehicle was not caved in.
Clearly demonstrates how easy it is to get the ACM without chopping up the roof, chopping up the driver fender, and smashing this car the way they did.
So-
they literally destroyed exculpatory evidence.
So
they destroyed it.
You have fatalities in this accident. You go in without a warrant. You take the ACM, and in the process, you're crushing the vehicle.
But well, let's observe. Let's read the lie that Robert Drum wrote to this warrant.
Okay.
Okay. So, in order to get a warrant, you have to identify why you need this warrant legally. You have to identify why it is that you're asking the government to give you access to this vehicle. Okay. Let's see what Robert Drum wrote on this warrant. That is, again, I'll pull it up. It's not signed. It's not dated. All it has is his name and badge number, but there's no date. There's no signature. What did he write? This is what he wrote. On April 5th, I responded to the area of Dumfries Road and Fortuna Center Plaza for a crash. Once on the scene, the driver of a black four-door sedan was being removed from the driver's seat.
That is not true. That is not true.
Listen to this.
The body cam literally showed that Mustafa was already extracted out of the vehicle, and he's laying in front of his vehicle in and out of consciousness. And there is paramedics all around him. There's bystanders around him. The bystander pulled Mustafa out of the vehicle.
I'm gonna put a mark every time he lies.
I have a body cam. We're gonna go over that body cam. That's gonna show that is a lie.
Okay, that's lie number one. He says that once on the scene, the driver of a black four-door sedan was being removed from the driver's seat. So Drum is telling us that when he arrived, Mustafa was being dragged out of the car. That's number one. That's lie number one. According to witnesses, they got Mustafa out prior to police getting on the scene.
Forget the witnesses. I have Exhibit 10, literally a body cam that will show exactly when Robert Drum showed up on scene. And that Mustafa was already extracted.
Exhibit 10?
Exhibit 10.
Okay, we're gonna go back to it. Let me continue. I spoke to this driver, Mr. Mustafa Aljazairi, was not aware of his surroundings and seemed to be in a daze.
There it is.
And slightly removed from the world, consistent with a person whom is under the influence of a drug. Okay.
That is absolutely not true. Mustafa never spoke to Robert Drum. Robert Drum never spoke to Mustafa on the scene. As a matter of fact, Robert Drum falsified the witness statement.
Listen, all you have to do is play that off-duty paramedic and how he was describing Mustafa to Robert Drum. So hold on a second. If this paramedic is describing to Robert Drum what Mustafa was doing, what he was saying, that means he never spoke to Mustafa.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, he would not be getting information from an off-duty paramedic that was talking to Mustafa prior to Drum.
Absolutely.
So that means that whole statement is a lie. You just lied on a sworn statement. You lied on a sworn document. In order for you to get a warrant, you have to put in a sworn affidavit. And that's lie number 2 on a sworn document by Drum. Okay, we're going to get back to it, by the way. I'm going to put in my notes here that you have a video, a body cam, where he's talking off-duty paramedic.
And he falsified the off-duty paramedic statements.
Okay, off-duty paramedic. Let's continue. That's lie number 2, okay? Now, during the investigation, it was learned the vehicle he was driving was traveling west on Dumfries Road when, for an unknown reason, it crossed sideways into eastbound traffic, having the right side collided with another vehicle. Both passengers in his car had serious injuries. Meth salts were removed from his person along with possible marijuana in the vehicle. The accused is also a known drug user, according to officers on the scene, which is Casey Fines, as we know today.
So Casey Fine gets on scene.
The medical records would show drug and alcohol present at the time.
That's a fucking lie. Mustafa's toxicology is literally in the file. It shows no alcohol and no drugs. And when he talks about meth, salt, Mustafa, what they took out of Mustafa's car is Adderall, prescribed Adderall.
On video.
And there's a body cam where they literally look at Chad Mason and Robert Drum looks at Mustafa's prescription. So to put that in the file, I mean, anybody that's reading this, they're like, oh my God, Mustafa's on meth? I mean, if the file wasn't leaked on the internet, you can verify that literally there's a body cam where they pull Mustafa's prescription out of that vehicle.
That's
and they're like,
lies.
oh, he's on Adderall. Oh, okay.
Look.
Oh, it's prescribed.
Look, let's continue down this form, okay? Let's continue down this form, and then we're gonna revisit. We're gonna revisit those 5 lies. Okay. We're gonna revisit them with actual video evidence on how Robert Drum falsified an affidavit to a warrant. Okay. Next, number 7. Okay. He says, through my investigation and 6 witnesses who witnessed the crash as occupants and or operators of vehicles on the roadway during the crash event.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. Let's wait for Elaine to go through.
You know, every time I see an airplane, she has a license for an airplane. I think she's going to crash right into my podcast.
Let's wait for Elaine to fly by. Look. So
have you contacted to get her license removed?
So now he's going to falsify what the witnesses said on the scene.
Every body cam show each of the witnesses that prosecutor Sarah Sammy tells Judge Weimer, Your Honor, every witness says that Mustafa crashed into the SUV. Every witness says, I didn't see the accident.
We're going to revisit those 6 witnesses and what they said.
You have 2 witnesses that says Mustafa cleared the vehicle into the 4th lane, and then you have another witness, 2 other witnesses, that says Mustafa hit the brake.
You're missing the point here. You're missing the point. The point is, he wrote on a sworn document
Absolutely.
that he has 6 witnesses who witnessed the crash. I mean, these are very specific allegations. Witnessed the crash. They physically saw the crash with their very own eyes.
He flat out lied.
That's what you're writing to a judge. In this case, there is no judge, so I don't know who he's writing it to because nobody signed it. Those individuals are Courtney Esslinger, Eric Thompson, Rebecca McClellan, Jeremy Palmberg, Brody Wilson, and Ann Guthrie.
Unfortunately for Robert Drum, I have those body cams.
So all witnesses wrote statements and signed a public document detailing the version of events which were corroborated by physical roadway evidence. That's what he says.
Oh, roadway evidence.
So, okay, let's
Which roadway evidence? The
Let's-
file, the scan that he removed out of the file.
Let's go back. And we're going to identify
minute.
every lie.
Roadway evidence that showed that Mustafa's foot is on the brake the whole entire time.
Let's go back and revisit those 5 lies and the 6 witness statements that
Mustafa's
he alleged.
skid marks that's all over the road that he says there are no skid marks.
Let's go back. Look, let's slow it down a little bit. Okay.
So you wrote the notes, right? You tell me the point, and I'm going to look it up for you.
Let me put this up on the screen. Go. Wait, your thing went out. There you go. Look, let's put this up on the screen so that people can see. Okay, number 4 on top. He says exactly. What does he say? 1, 2. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. The first lie is that. What does he say specifically? That he arrived on the scene and he witnessed Mustafa being taken out of the car.
That's
what
absolutely a lie. I'm going to pull up body cam for you. Exhibit 10. I'm going to pull up Exhibit 10 for you.
Let's pull up the body cam to see if Drum is lying or not. Because, I mean, as you know, lying on a warrant is a very serious crime. Okay? And the prosecutor sealed these body cams so that when Robert Drum writes up a warrant after the fact, after they've destroyed his car, after they've already fucked around with this case, we can go back in real time and check it. Let's go back.
All right, so Robert Drum gets on the scene. This is Exhibit 10. If you go on the on YouTube under Not Another Boring Podcast, literally there is a file that says Mustafa Aljazairi body cams, and I've numbered those body cams in exhibits. This is Exhibit 10. Exhibit 10 is Robert Drum's body cam.
Okay, let's go into it.
When you see this body cam, it starts at 6:50:52. You see Robert Drum get on scene.
6:52.
6. Yep. So this is April 5th, 2023.
And he's muted here?
He's muted here. He's going to get to the scene. He's going to unmute his body cam. And you're going to see that number 1 is completely falsified. He never made contact with Mustafa. He made contact with a witness.
He witnessed Mustafa being taken out of the car.
That's not true. Mustafa has already been taken out of the vehicle by bystanders. And you'll see him in front of his vehicle on the floor in and out of consciousness. As a matter of fact, what you'll see, Robert Drum makes contact with a witness, an off-duty paramedic, that's going to tell investigator Robert Drum that Mustafa believed that he's in 2021, Obama is the president, and he tells Robert Drum, Mustafa is in a concussion. He's dealing with a concussion. Robert Drum literally turns around
and says he's on drugs.
He's on drugs. Now, why is Robert Drum saying Mustafa is on drugs? You're going to see that Officer Casey Fines, the minute that Robert Drum gets on scene, Casey Fine puts a label on Mustafa.
While laughing.
Now, hold on now. You haven't done a toxicology report on Mustafa. You haven't reconstructed the vehicle.
You haven't looked at the data from the car.
You haven't looked at data.
You haven't spoken to any witness.
You haven't looked at the dash camera inside the car. You haven't spoken to any witness. Why are you putting a label that Mustafa is on drugs? Now, according to prosecutor Sarah Sammy, when Mustafa's defense attorney during a Brady motion says, I have an officer that put a label on Mustafa, inserting a bias in this whole entire investigation. She says, Your Honor, I believe that this has something to do with Stafford incident. What Stafford incident?
Let's take a look here.
Stafford incident is Mustafa sued the police in 2018. So
we remind everybody that Robert Drum just got on the scene.
This is 6:52 and 54 seconds. That right there.
Yeah, zoom in on that. Can you zoom in?
Yeah. You'll see, and you'll see it. This is Mustafa's vehicle. And right there is Mustafa.
On the ground.
On the ground in front of his vehicle. In and out of consciousness, right there. That's Mustafa's vehicle.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. So Mustafa's already out of the vehicle.
Okay, keep playing.
All right, let's keep playing the bar.
Four-year-old, female in the back, Fairfax, both of them. Which one? Female in the back, and there's a 4-year-old that they transported that they didn't have anything on. Okay. So that what the Fairfax, they're working a guy on the ground right there.
Oh,
You're
wow.
working the guy on the ground right there.
You're working a guy
on the ground right there.
Interesting. Do you have that warrant? Do you still have the warrant up?
Yeah, let me pull it up for you.
I mean, without exiting this video?
I can just go back to 226 really quick. 226, okay?
You should have it like, I would say snapshot it.
And then put it right here.
Put it on your photos, and then you could just
I'll
go
do
back.
I'll do you one better. Here, we're gonna splice it right here. All right, and we're gonna insert the warrant right there, right before it, so that way we can just flip back and forth between those two. Which one is it? You remember? 1, 2, 4.
Yeah.
All right, so let's snapshot this here. We're doing this in real time. All right, so that way we're keeping track with Robert Drum's lies in this case. You know, unfortunately for prosecutor Sarah Sammy, she tried. I'll give her that. She tried sealing off the case so she can say whatever she wants, but unfortunately for her, she can't do that anymore.
She can't.
Because not anymore. We can check her in real time. We can check her police officers in real time.
Look, the question really becomes to Chief of Police Newsham and Amy Ashworth. What do you do when your primary investigator is lying on a warrant? What are the consequences? I mean, this community is watching this in real time, and we're asking the question, what are the consequences for an officer to falsify a warrant, to falsify information on a warrant? Okay? To have a warrant not signed by a judge.
Apparently,
for police to destroy evidence and lie about it.
According to Mustafa's defense attorney, according to this county, let's just bring a psychiatrist and just write Mustafa off as incompetent, so we don't have to look at the details anymore and save this prosecutor in this police department from falsifying a whole entire case. I'm going to have to go back and forth because I think...
you know what I think you should do? Look.
Yeah.
Put this on the full screen.
Okay.
Full screen it. Take a snapshot.
It's I'm running out of memory.
You don't have anything for...
I'm running out of memory. There's so much bullshit in this case that I'm running out of memory on a 500 gigabyte fucking iPad. I think I have a tablet.
How about this? Let's take a break real quick. Okay, let's make room on your tablet.
All right.
Let's make room on your tablet so that we can check this officer's lies in real time. You can unplug it.
Okay.
Just unplug it. I mean, we like this. Unfortunately, this is what we have to do. You have to play the video that shows he's lying. By the way, the video is from Drum himself. The video is from Drum's chest. Okay, that's his body cam. And I think that wire is not connected. Let me just let me fix it. I think we have a phone that went out.
Okay.
Did this turn off?
It turned off?
Yeah.
Why? It wasn't plugged in?
Okay, now it's back on. Okay, now it's charging. Let me pause everything.
All right. I'm almost done, by the way. Okay. But we'll take a 10-minute break. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, folks. If you're watching this live, we're gonna take a 5 to 10-minute break, but I'm sure you can edit this break out of from the final product, right?
No, you can't. You can't.
Okay, well, people can just fast forward 10 minutes. Let's see.
Or we could just play the video from extracting the ACM.
On what?
Oh,
yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
use the iPad. By the way, I'm almost done. I'm just clearing up space.
Okay, I'm gonna mute this real quick.
Okay.
Mute.
We're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If you disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it, is what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to move to withdraw from the case.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So make sure everybody's aware of that. Okay. If any of that is posted anywhere on the internet, we're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If you disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it, is what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to move to withdraw from the case.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So make sure everybody's aware of that. Okay. If any of that is posted anywhere on the internet, we're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If if you disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it, is what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to move to withdraw from the case.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So make sure everybody's aware of that. Okay. If any of that is posted anywhere on the internet, we're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If you disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it, is what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to move to withdraw from the case.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So make sure everybody's aware of that. Okay. If any of that is posted anywhere on the internet, we're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If you disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it, is what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So make sure everybody's aware of that. Okay. If any of that is posted anywhere on the internet, we're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If you disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it, is what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to move to withdraw from the case.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So make sure everybody's aware of that. Okay. If any of that is posted anywhere on the internet, we're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If you disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it, is what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to move to withdraw from the case.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So make sure everybody's aware of that. Okay. If any of that is posted anywhere on the internet, we're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If you disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it, is what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
All right.
So make sure everybody's aware of that, okay? If any of that is posted anywhere on the internet, we're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If you disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it, is what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to remove.
All right. All right. We are back. This is not another boring podcast. Mustafa through the police body cam. Judge Carol Weimer, you are under the microscope. And I think it's fair to say Mustafa's defense attorney, Brad Haywood, is under the microscope. You have to have an honest conversation in what's coming out of this case. We're going over the body cam of Robert Drum. We're going over the
affidavit
on
the warrant
of the warrant of
the
Robert
vehicle.
Drum. And
that is not signed, by the way. It's
not signed.
And he lies on his affidavit. So let's go back.
Let's go back to the body cam. That's Exhibit 10.
We just identified that he lied about, he says he witnessed Mustafa being taken out of the car. That was a lie. We saw his body cam as he approached the scene. Mustafa was already out. Okay. And people might, by the way, people might say, so what if he didn't witness Mustafa being taken out of the car? So what? Like, that's such a small detail. Well, it gets worse, because if you're going to lie about the most basic, smallest details, we're going to find out that he's lying about a lot more. This is just one lie.
I mean, he literally falsified Mustafa's statement. The foundation of this case is falsified. This investigator, Robert Drum, said Mustafa told me he was arguing inside the vehicle with his girlfriend. And then you listen to the audio of the conversation.
Mustafa never said that.
Mustafa never said that. You watch the dash camera. This investigator has been telling everybody that the dash camera is going to show that Mustafa is arguing with his girlfriend. Literally, the dash camera showed that Mustafa and Dorothy are passing back and forth a cigarette. And the way Dorothy grabs Mustafa, the cigarette from Mustafa, she's feeling his fingers as she grabs the cigarette. There is no argument inside the car.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go into his statement. Okay, you can, you got that on photo?
Let's see if I can get, yeah.
Yeah, put it on your photo app so that you can switch back and forth, and you can,
sounds good.
I mean, check the information as we're watching the body cam. I just need that one page, just number 4.
Number 4? I already have number 4.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Okay, all right. So I already have that one.
For now, that's all we need.
All right, so that's number 4. You want me to zoom in on anything?
No, I put it on your photo app.
It is on the photo app.
So that you have photo?
Oh, you want me to put it on the photo app?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Oh, you want to just switch back and forth between it?
Yeah. It's number 4.
Yeah.
That one. So keep that, and then go back to the video. No, go back to that. No, not from the camera. Go to the actual app itself.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna put it as, I'm gonna save it. All right, there we go.
Okay, so switch back to the body cam. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna play it real quick.
That they transported that they didn't have anything. So that what the Fairfax, they're working a guy on the ground right there. There's another Vic in the ambulance.
You heard what he just said?
They're working a guy right there on the ground. So you did not witness Mustafa being taken out of the car. That's slide number one. Now let's move on to keep playing that. Let's see where it goes.
So there's 2 so far?
There's 4 Vics.
How many dealing?
One is, they're not confirmed anything, possibly 2. A 4-year-old and then the mom.
Where are the pictures from Robert Drum?
So exactly. You just took a photo of Mustafa's car from the side. Okay? Where is that specific photo? Where is that photo? You just arrived on the scene. Where is that photo? That photo will show what Mustafa's dash cam looked like when you arrived, before your buddy, Chad Mason, decided to rip the wire out from this dash cam.
Through those body cam, you see Robert Drum taking photos of the vehicle. You see Officer Josie taking pictures on her cell phone. You see Chad Mason taking pictures of the vehicle outside and inside the vehicle. All those photos are missing. The only photos that you have in the file is pictures of the vehicle at night.
At night.
Now, why are we looking for those photos? Those photos are going to show the condition of the dash camera. I mean, Chad Mason says the wire is cut.
Before Chad Mason
Before he
ripped that wire out.
Before he cut that wire, and he says the dash camera doesn't have audio. The dash camera, it doesn't have audio, and it's cut before impact.
All those photos
And
are
you're telling us that the wire,
evidence.
all those photos are exculpatory evidence.
Where are they? Where are those photos?
So he never talked to Mustafa. Mustafa's right there, by the way. That's Mustafa.
According to Drum,
That's Mustafa.
according to Drum,
Right there is Mustafa.
he witnessed Mustafa being taken out of the car, and then he said he spoke to Mustafa specifically.
Mustafa's right there on the floor, in and out of consciousness. And at one point, he went into a complete coma. He got helicoptered to the hospital. There's bystanders that extracted him from out of the vehicle, and there's firefighters all around Mustafa. Robert Drum never talked to Mustafa.
Where's the off-duty paramedic? Do you have it?
You're gonna see. It's gonna come up.
Let's go.
Where is the body cam from this officer? That right there. Where is his body cam? It's not in the file.
And he, by the way, he was there during those motions when Chad Mason took the stand on the 31st of October last year. He was there. So where's his body cam?
You can see that he's wearing a body cam.
And why was he subpoenaed as a witness? Why was he subpoenaed as a witness? And he never took the stand. His body cam is missing, yet he's somehow inserted into this case.
Interesting.
So let's keep going.
Prisoner Plaza. 12 minutes. There's only lost about 3 for warrant service.
That's going to be negative. They don't have any other.
Casey Fines is right there. He just came out from the ambulance truck where the SUV driver is. That's right there. You just saw him come out from. This is Casey Fines. Okay. This is the ambulance where the SUV driver is in. So, what statement did she make to you? Where are the statements from the SUV driver?
What did Casey Fine tell the other driver? And where's her written statement?
It's not in the file.
There's no written statement?
As a matter of fact, I have a body cam in the hospital where Investigator Davis, the same investigator that says, I have an idea to employ into this case, but it's going to require spending money. He says, as long as you keep your story, you're going to be okay.
As long as you stick to your story.
Stick to your story.
Then
What story?
What story, exactly?
I
What
mean,
story?
You haven't reconstructed the accident 2.5 years into it. You blocked the reconstruction. The ACM inside the vehicle, the steering angle is not there. You haven't put that in the file. Mustafa, steering angle, the SUV steering angle. This should be an open and shut case. Is the SUV driver turning into Mustafa? Is Mustafa turning to the SUV? Why is that missing out of the whole entire case?
Yep, let's go.
22, 45, 51, or 45, 33. Can you please bring the scanner? Drive 45, 33. You want to split all? Maybe they'll keep that scanner off and keep you in.
Again, I don't see him.
That's Mustafa right there.
I don't see him making contact with Mustafa.
That's Mustafa right there on the floor. Okay? That right there is Mustafa. You're going to see here the officer, Casey Fine, comes out of nowhere, and he tells, he's going to tell the Robert Drum, that guy that's on the floor is on drugs. You haven't looked at the computer inside the vehicle. You haven't reconstructed the accident. You haven't looked at the dash camera inside the car. You put a label on Mustafa that he's on drugs. Mustafa's toxicology showed no alcohol and no drugs, but you inserted a bias into this case that literally the investigator is going to say at one point, wherever the fuck that guy goes, I need a blood draw.
45, 20. That'll be 3. I'm already here. And then Mason and Wilhelm are on their way. All right, sir.
Take pictures while you do anything else.
No.
This is Officer Casey Fines.
We'll figure out where the bodies are going in a minute. Witnesses, anybody say what happened?
Yeah, there's a lady right over here in the black. She saw everything.
Okay.
I believe. This car is at fault. This is the driver of that.
This car is at fault.
How do you know that?
How do you know that? You haven't done anything to find out, but he's at fault immediately.
By the way, what time is this?
This is 6:56.
Okay, so 6:56, Casey Fines has determined that Mustafa was at fault. Casey Fines determined that. Now, when we observe Casey Fines' body cam,
It's completely muted.
it's not only is it all muted, but who did he talk to between 6:56 and prior? The accident happened at 6:36. Okay, so in that 20 minutes, who did Casey Fines talk to determine that Mustafa was at fault, and where are the body cams from those interactions? How did you determine that Mustafa was at fault? We look at the police report. What does Casey Fines say? He has like one line in this whole entire case. Out of 800 pages, Casey Fines has one line. All I did was
Direct traffic.
Direct traffic. That's his role. That's his role in this entire case. Casey Fines says, I only directed traffic.
What do you mean?
That's it. That's it.
Right
So-
here, you're going to see him put a label on Mustafa that he's on drugs. And if that's what he's telling the main investigator, what is he doing on the scene? And what is he telling witnesses on the scene?
He's telling them the same exact thing. He's telling them this guy is on drugs. He's a drug user. He's a known drug user. Okay? And we have to get him off the street.
I have witnesses that are literally changing their statement on the scene. I have the body cam where one of them says Mustafa cleared it all the way to the 4th lane. That's one witness. The second witness says, I heard him hit the brake.
After talking to Casey Fines.
After talking to Casey Fines, all of a sudden she scratches out that portion, because Casey Fine is literally going around and telling people, it's up to you to get justice. A mother and her baby died. It's up to you to get justice. Literally, witnesses on the scene are changing their statements.
By the way, I'll say this about Casey Fines. We are looking at over 800 pages of discovery, okay? And not a single page points us to this alleged incident between Casey Fines and Mustafa, where he says he had come across Mustafa at some point and he was on drugs. He was completely out of it. He wasn't driving, but he was completely out of it on drugs. Where is that incident? Where is that incident report?
Mustafa's defense attorney, during a Brady motion 2 weeks ago, brought that up. And he said, Casey Fines insert a bias the minute that he got on the scene. And the prosecutor literally gets up in court and she says, Prosecutor Sarah Sammy, she says, Your Honor, and she's, by the way, I don't know what's wrong with this prosecutor. She's terrified. Immediately she gets up, she's shaking, and she said, Your Honor, I believe that this has something to do with the Stafford incident. Well, let's talk about the Stafford incident really quick.
Hold on a second. That's not what Casey Fine says. He says he personally interacted with Mustafa when he was high as shit, on drugs, completely out of it, but was not driving. I mean, why insert this detail? He was not driving. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to tell us we're not going to find any incident in the Prince William County Police log or in their incident report that there's no interaction between Casey Fines and Mustafa?
Now, here's my
Which
problem.
means what? It means he's making it up.
He's making it up.
Absolutely. He made it out of thin air.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you something else that's a problem.
Otherwise, they would have blasted this thing all over the reports.
The prosecutor Sarah Sammy, literally in court, lies on the record. She tells Judge Weimer, Your Honor, the reason that Casey Fine says that is because, at first she said it's this 2018 incident, okay? Literally, the 2018 incident is a lawsuit that Mustafa filed against the police.
Malicious prosecution.
Malicious prosecution for violating his right. He's suing the police. Mm-hmm. A lawsuit that dragged all the way to the vehicle accident. Literally, Mustafa's lawyer at the time is in negotiating with the police department over a settlement, $500,000 settlement.
Over $500,000.
So, wait a minute. That's the 2018 incident. So, wait a minute. And then she turns around and she tells Judge Weimer, Your Honor, the reason that Casey Fine says he's on drugs is because he found drugs in his vehicle. Wait a minute. This is 6:56.
20 minutes after the accident.
When Chad Mason and Robert Drum are going through Mustafa's vehicle, they go through Mustafa's vehicle at night.
So
literally.
Where are the drugs?
So wait a minute.
What did Casey Fine see?
First of all, they don't find drugs. Two, they find a prescription for Mustafa's Adderall.
A prescription.
Wait a minute. Casey Fine hadn't gone through the vehicle. So why is this prosecutor lying to Judge Weimer, telling him the reason that there is no bias because he made contact with Mustafa's vehicle and he found drugs? Why is Mustafa's defense attorney, Brad Haywood, not putting this in a motion and is filing it to Judge Weimer, telling him this prosecutor is lying on the record? I mean, and this is the question. Is Brad Haywood working for Mustafa? I mean, if you're not checking this prosecutor when she's literally lying on the record, what are you doing here? I mean, if I have the body cam, if this community has a body cam, if they have the document, you're literally cutting her a break. And if you're literally cutting her a break, what the fuck are you doing on Mustafa's case?
Why are you cutting her a break?
Why are you cutting her a break? Why are you cutting her a break? She's been lying.
She claims she doesn't know. But we find through all these body cams, through all these reports, we find that the police are actively, from day one, they are actively updating Sarah Sammy, and they're getting specific instructions on what step to take next. Literally every step of the way. Every step of the way. Sarah Sammy is leading this investigation. She's instructing the officers on what to do next. Every single step of the way from day one. From the moment Casey Fines is there, they are making contact with Sarah Sammy.
I'm going to play a body cam real quick, and I think this is relevant, and then we'll go into this body cam. Prosecutor Sarah Sammy says, I have no idea what communication took place. Every time Brad Hayward brings up a point in court during a Brady motion. She says, "I'm not aware of the communication. I'm not aware of the situation or what the police officers are doing." Well, I have a body cam that every step of the way they're updating you when they're talking to the children, when they're on the scene. This is a body cam where,
well,
Investigator Davis, when he gets off with the 16-year-old, that's a minor.
He's talking to a minor.
He's talking to a minor. He's not with Children Forensic Unit because Brad Hayward brought up that the children has been weaponized against Mustafa. That's child abuse. You're abusing the children to get Mustafa. You're literally taking children that love Mustafa, and you don't have to take my word for it. I have the Google Nest video inside the apartment. You've weaponized the children against Mustafa. You're telling them that Mustafa did this on purpose, that he left your baby sister to bleed to death on the scene, and if he hadn't ran away, you could have saved their baby sister before you walked him into a forensic interview. Now, I have those body cam where the child is talking about that the police told him that. Wait a minute. So, this prosecutor says, I'm not aware of the communication. The only time the children were spoken to is in the forensic interview. But yet I've got body cams that the children know they've been coached, they've been weaponized before they walked into. You have a prosecutor that on the record lied. And she tells the judge that, Your Honor, I'm not aware
she's playing
of
stupid.
she's playing stupid. And then she tells him that the only time they were talked to is in a forensic interview. Wait a minute, this is Investigator Davis. With he's not with the Children Forensic Unit, but he gets off the phone with a 16-year-old, Mustafa's girlfriend,
specifically
the daughter.
The Child Advocacy Center psychologists are the only ones that talk to the children.
As soon as he gets off the phone, you zoom in on the phone, he's calling Sarah Sammy.
Okay.
Let's listen.
I mean,
unfortunately, something bad did happen, which is why we're involved now, and I want to make...
This is, hang on, let me see if I can pull that one up.
I'm sure you're...
See him coming, and I second, third, maybe he's like the 2.5 tight end.
Hello?
Hey, Kylie, it's Investigator Davis.
Kylie is a 16-year-old. That's a minor. He's talking to a minor. He's not with the Children Forensic Unit.
By the way, he doesn't say, "Hey, Kylie, this is Investigator Davis with the Prince William County Police. I'd like to speak to you." No. "Hey, Kylie, this is Davis."
I mean, look, he's got her on a speed dial. He's got her on speed dial. The real question is, how many times did you call Kylie?
It sounds like he's talking to his girlfriend or something.
Why isn't Mustafa?
He's literally on speed dial. When I say speed dial, I mean he's like, "Hey, Kylie, by the way."
I mean, you should listen to this body cam, like the full body cam. It's weird, okay? I mean,
crazy.
He's not with the Children Forensic Unit. You've got an investigator outside the Children Forensic Unit, and he's calling this minor.
Why are you contacting a minor?
And he's updating the prosecutor.
Why are you, Rob Davis, who says I have money to employ into this case that we should employ? Why are you contacting a minor?
And as soon as he gets off the phone call, he contacts the prosecutor. He updates Sarah Sammy. But in court, she tells the judge, "I have no idea, Your Honor. The only time the children were spoken to is inside the forensic unit."
She's not aware of any other communication.
Mustafa's defense attorney, why is he not putting that in a motion and telling the judge that she's lying?
Good question. Let's continue that.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, all right. I appreciate it. Thanks, Kylie.
Thanks, Kylie.
All right, bye.
When you zoom in on the phone, you're going to see he's dialing and updating Sarah Sammy.
Prosecutor
Sarah Sammy.
Right now, at 12:12 on the B. Mitch and Finley Show with Scott Jackson, substitute for JP, on April 11th, Tuesday, I'm going to say, do not wait to draft pick on, not wait to draft pick, because like I laid out, do not spend a draft pick on a day 2, day 3 quarterback. Let's find another linebacker. Your call has been forwarded to an...
Pause that for a second. Who is he talking to in the background?
I don't know.
She says April 11th. I'm not saying whatever. Like, he's talking to somebody in the background.
I don't know. We just have to listen to the body cam. But the point is that he's dialing and updating the prosecutor. I have another document.
Did you hear that? He's in the background talking to somebody.
I have another document.
Evelyn Horton.
Look, I have another document.
He's being instructed on what to do. Clearly, he's being instructed on what to do.
I mean, this is 656. This is another document that shows that this prosecutor met with Kylie outside the forensic unit.
Wait a second. You're saying the prosecutor met with a minor?
And she's telling the judge, I have no idea. I'll find out, Your Honor. And her, not only her, there's 4 prosecutors. All 4 prosecutors. You got Prosecutor Sarah Sammy, Stephanie Buck, Mallet, and Jason O'Sullivan. They all met with the minor,
alleged witness,
outside the forensic interview. But then she's telling the judge, Your Honor, I'll find out if this child was spoken to the police. You fucking met with this minor, and you're literally lying on the record to the judge. And Brad Hayward just lets it go. And you know the thing that really makes me mad is I'm telling this defense attorney, I'm telling him, you've got a prosecutor that's lying on the record. She's been lying for 2.5 years. The only reason that now we can actually verify that she's lying is because the file is leaked. And right in front of you, you have all the evidence that she's lying.
So
and he's like,
what is the recourse?
He tells me, well, she makes me feel smart.
What is the recourse?
What does that mean?
What is the
recourse?
What
the fuck does that mean?
What is the recourse for a lying
This prosecutor has animosity against Mustafa, animosity against the family. She said that we're setting fires to the courthouse building.
The building's still here?
She said that we're manufacturing bombs in the parking lot.
I don't see any bombs.
She said that you bought an AR-15 with 1,000 rounds.
I don't have an AR-15. And I don't
she
have
said the mother assaulted her in court.
The mother
but Mustafa's defense attorney, Brad Hayward, says, Your Honor, I'm satisfied that she retracted the AR-15 allegations against Muhammad.
And then literally a few seconds later says, I'm being threatened
by the family on TikTok. What do you mean? She says, I don't have an animosity. And then she turns around and she tells the judge, Your Honor, the family is threatening me on TikTok. You throw in an allegation. How does this not show animosity? I mean, Mustafa's defense attorney.
Wait, does she consider...
By the way, by law...
Does she consider us calling out her lies in real time? Does she consider that a threat?
These are not threats. These are promises. I promise you, Prosecutor Sarah Sammy, you will be going to jail. I have your file. I have your body cams. I have your voice inside the court. It's all over the internet that you are lying in the Mustafa Aljazairi case. And this is not a threat.
Judge.
If you think this is a threat, this is a fucking promise. You will be going to jail, and Mustafa will be coming home.
Okay, let's.
And if you think that you've got Brad Hayward in your fucking pocket, we're checking him in real time. So he better fucking do his job. The government gave him $100,000 to fucking do his job. This is not a charity work.
It's not charity.
You either want to fucking work for Mustafa and defend him, or get the fuck off the case.
Or fuck off.
We have a file that's leaked all over the internet. And a prosecutor that's lying on the record.
Look,
and for you to just let her get away with it, what the fuck are you doing?
Look, let's dial back and get back to our point.
I mean, before you get back to the point, I have a document right in front of me that Prosecutor Sarah Sammy met with a fucking minor.
Let's read that real quick. I know this is going off track, but let's read how Sarah Sammy lied to Judge Weimer and the defense attorney and the courts on the record.
This document is entered on March 18, 2024 at 1:31 p.m.
Entered by Jason O'Sullivan.
Who's the prosecutor. Interesting.
Prosecutor.
But she's telling the judge.
Sammy's buddy.
But she's telling the judge, I'm going to find out, Your Honor, if anybody met with a minor or talked to the children outside the forensic unit. On March 15, 2024, ACA, Mallet, Sammy, and myself arranged
ACA is Assistant Commonwealth Attorney Mallet.
Interesting.
Sammy and myself, who's Jason O'Sullivan, writing this narrative,
arranged a follow-up meeting with Kylie Clapp, a 16-year-old, at the courthouse. The purpose of the meeting was to touch base with Kylie to see how she was doing and see if she recalled what she disclosed during the forensic interview. So we have that forensic interview.
So they want to see if what they trained her on, she still remembers what they taught her to say.
Kylie was able to make very similar statement as to the behavior of Mustafa Aljazairi and her mother as she had previously during the forensic interview on September 8, 2023. Wait a minute. So you're building a whole entire case on a 16-year-old that was separated by CPS before Mustafa met your mother.
Who says she only met Mustafa one time.
She doesn't live. She doesn't live at the apartment. She
never
met him
made
once.
Contact again. One time she met him. And
she lives with her dad. She's connected to her dad, works for a club owner that has a giant problem with Mustafa. Went literally viral a month before Mustafa met her mother.
And
wait a minute.
When asked, when asked during this interview on September 8th, when they asked her, "Why are you here today?" What did she say?
My dad is making me come here. Who's your dad? Oh, your dad worked for a club owner that has a problem
he's the
with
tattoo artist for all the strippers
piercing
at William Bain Jr.'s club, who had a problem with Mustafa. I mean, where there's a video of him going viral, saying racist remarks against Mustafa.
I find a lot of pushback, by the way. I find a lot of pushback from Mustafa's defense attorney, Brad Haywood, when I tell him, you need to sit down with Mustafa and go over the text communication between Dorothy, Mustafa's girlfriend, and Kylie. Because Kylie, in the forensic interview, says, my mother blocked me because of Mustafa.
She chose Mustafa over me.
She chose Mustafa over me. Wait a minute. So a whole entire case is built on a 16-year-old in a forensic interview that says, by the way, what I'm telling you about Mustafa, I didn't see it. She says Mustafa premeditated this murder, but I didn't see it.
Who's telling her this? The strippers at William Bain
I hang out with the strippers at the club.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. So the file gets unsealed. We get to see the forensic interview.
Hearsay within hearsay within hearsay. And that's what the prosecutors are relying on. A minor who's never met Mustafa, but once.
And when I asked the defense attorney, did you look through the communication, the text communication between Dorothy, Mustafa's girlfriend, and Kylie? He says, oh, I haven't looked. Can you go over the text communication with Mustafa? Oh, that's not relevant. That's not important. Why the fuck is it not relevant? Is this going to show that this girl has been coached to be after Mustafa? Is there police officers that are involved in pushing this girl to go? I mean, because
she allegedly,
because I have a recording. By the way, I have a recording that the ex-boyfriend says. By the way,
she allegedly reported child abuse, and the police conducted an investigation a month prior to the accident, and they said it was unfounded.
Listen to this.
It was unfounded. So the communication is going to clarify where was this attack on Mustafa coming from when you review the messages between Dorothy and Kylie. Because I remember at some point, Dorothy told Kylie, why are you fucking with us? Us meaning me, Mustafa, and the children. Why are you fucking our lives over? That's what Javen says. He says Kylie was trying to fuck up their life. I have that on recording.
14-year-old, Dorothy's child.
The 14-year-old literally
the one that
says,
shows on a Google Nest that loved Mustafa.
He says Kylie was trying to fuck up their life. Okay? Kylie was literally trying to fuck up Dorothy's life because she hated Mustafa and Dorothy being together, and she says Dorothy chose Mustafa over me.
Now, I have the ex-boyfriend, Glenn Ford, on a recorded line. A private investigator took him out, sat down with him, and recorded him talking. On a recorded line, the ex-boyfriend, Glenn Ford, says Kylie Clapp, the 16-year-old, a month before the vehicle accident, came up to him and asked him to kill Mustafa. Now, I have that recording. I find it really interesting. When I tell Mustafa's defense attorney, Brad Haywood, I have a recording, he never asked me for the recording. Isn't that weird?
Oh, it's interesting.
Isn't that fucking weird? What the fuck is going on here? He doesn't want to go through the text communications. He doesn't ask for the recording. Let's listen to the recording.
I mean, the prosecutor is literally relying on this minor that they've been coaching along the way. By the way, I'll just point this out. This is like really weird. All the children were together at the police department on April 7th, including Kylie. So where is Kylie's forensic interview that was conducted on April 7th?
The phone call that you just heard, that phone call is literally... Let's look at the time, the body. Let's look at the date.
They have Colin Brissett.
Let's pause it real quick.
April
11.
Let me put that on the screen.
April 11.
April 11.
So you're on speed dial, Investigator Davis on speed dial with Kylie.
2023.
She's at the hospital. You're on the phone with her. Where is her forensic interview?
April 11, 2023. And by the way, I'll say this. Look, I'll say this. If you want to tell us that Kylie did her forensic interview on September, what was it? September what?
I can literally pull it up for you.
That document you just had up?
Oh, that...
The document you just had up with Sarah Sammy. No, the document that you just had up.
Let me pull it up for you.
That one. Go back. You just missed it.
This one.
Okay. Let's go to that real quick. Hold on. This says that they want to see if Kylie still remembers what she was taught, basically, on September 8th, right? September 8th of 2023. So you want to tell us that Kylie was interviewed by the CAC, the child advocacy psychologist, on September 8th, but you have Davis contacting her on April 11th?
What is her original forensic interview?
Hold on a second. I mean, it's a problem either way, okay? If you're saying that Kylie never conducted a forensic interview with the Child Advocacy Center prior to April 11th, why is the officer talking to the child? And if she had already given her statement, we could say, okay, after she gave her statement, the officer is talking to her, following up, whatever the case may be. But you're literally telling us that Officer Davis is in contact with a minor months before she did her psychology interview. And that's a problem. That's a very big problem, because now you're telling us that the police had Kylie on speed dial months before she conducted her psychology interview. Okay? And by the way, we know Kylie was there on April 7th, when the children were being interviewed. Why did the prosecutor delete Kylie's interview from April 7th?
And I'll tell you why. Because she was all over the place.
Why did she delete it?
They're coaching her along the way.
Oh, it's not good enough.
It's not good enough.
Because it disqualifies Kylie as a witness when she specifically says, I've never met Mustafa. I've never lived with Mustafa. I never stayed a day at the apartment when Mustafa was there. The only time Mustafa and I made contact was when he first met my mother, and I think they gave me a ride to my dad's house. And that was the only time, one time, probably less than 30 minutes of contact. And you want to use Kylie as the star witness? You want to bring her in, coach her on every detail of this case, and then you want to bring her in during trial, and you're going to delete a whole forensic interview with a psychologist because it disqualifies her as a witness. Well, this is a statement for Brad. You need to ask the courts for the prosecutors to provide you with Kylie Clapp's forensic interview from April 7th, 2023. Okay? And if they can't do that, then they're actively deleting forensic child interviews because it does not fit the narrative.
During our Brady motion,
that's a very big problem.
The presiding judge, Judge Weimer, said, I'm denying the release of the communication, the prosecutor's communication, because the prosecutor said on the record, it's dangerous to release my communication. It's dangerous to release her communication with the police. Officers are involved in this case. It's dangerous to release her statements and communication with the witnesses. Why is it dangerous?
I'll tell you why.
You have this level of misconduct.
Prosecutor Sammy, I guarantee you, she said, I guarantee you, this is what Sarah Sammy said. Hey, Officer Davis, we're going to have to delete Kylie's interview from April 7th, and we have to redo this interview. So I need you guys, you officers, to call Kylie and update her on the facts. And then at some point she said, oh, fuck it. I'm sealing this whole file. So why don't we get all the prosecutors in together? Let's call in the minor and coach her on what to say with this upcoming trial. And that's what we see.
Given everything that we have on the table.
We're looking at the letter.
Let me just say this. Given everything that we have on the table, if Mustafa's defense attorney does not wrap all this up in a motion and present it to the judge and demand the communication of the prosecutor, fuck that. If he doesn't demand that this prosecutor gets off the case, because she demonstrated, not only does she lie on the record, she has animosity against Mustafa and the family.
I mean, they're literally coaching her.
Kick her off the case.
Not just her. Everybody on that list. Every prosecutor on that list.
If he doesn't do that, hey, by the way, if he doesn't do that, he's not working for Mustafa. He's working to patch up this case.
Facts.
To patch up this case and cover up what they've done.
That's a fact.
I mean, you can't bullshit us in this case. I've got my hand all the way up the prosecutor asshole. Literally, I'm coming out of her mouth. I'm literally speaking for her in real time. I've got her body cams. I've got the documents. I've got the whole file leaked all over the internet. You cannot bullshit me. Okay? And if you think I'm going to sit here and say, oh, Brad Haywood is a good lawyer, fuck that bullshit. We're going to tell this community what you're doing in this case. By the way, Mustafa's coming home. A fucking monkey can represent Mustafa, and Mustafa's coming home. Literally, on the book, on the record, you have the reconstruction of Mustafa's vehicle accident. The judge ordered the reconstruction of the vehicle. They fucking gave you money to reconstruct the vehicle.
Where is it?
An extraction of the SD card. There is an order to extract the SD card. The government gave you money for an independent expert. Where is it? Your client is kept in the fucking dark.
It was a month ago.
It was a month ago. Your client is left in the dark.
What is the holdup? What is the holdup?
You want to bring me a psychiatrist? Who are you fucking working for?
Listen, we literally
What are you talking about?
It's
Evidence showed that this is a car accident.
It's a computer.
Evidence showed there is no argument inside the vehicle.
Where's the steering angle?
Where's the steering angle?
2.5 years later, we're still asking the most basic of questions.
I'll tell you, we're sitting here, we're making points, we're saying that Investigator Drum's warrant is falsified. We have evidence to show it, that the warrant is not
We're
signed.
literally going down the list.
The vehicle is crushed and staged. I mean, Brad Haywood, isn't he the defense attorney? Why am I bringing this up? Shouldn't you be bringing this up in a motion to dismiss?
That's a very good question.
They've crushed and staged the vehicle. They cut and muted the dash camera.
Why are you more versed on Mustafa's case than his own attorney?
That's a really good question.
Why are you catching the inconsistencies?
I mean, give me an answer to why do I have 2 body cams in Mustafa's server? The server for the police department, evidence.com. I have Exhibit 10. Robert Drum's body cam starts off with Exhibit 10. Now, I have another body cam, Exhibit 14. Robert's Drum, Exhibit 10, body cam ends at 1902. Now, you ask yourself, what happened at 1902 that this body cam ends?
It's cut.
It's cut.
It's
and
not
it starts
turned off.
off.
It's not
until
turned off. It's
19.
cut.
It's cut. It's cut. By the way, it's cut. And the reason you know it's cut because as soon as Robert Drum makes contact with Chad Mason,
I really want to look at that.
Oh, I'm gonna have to. But let me just explain it first before we go in.
Yeah.
Exhibit 10, Robert Drum's body cam ends at 9:15, and you see Robert Drum.
You mean 1915?
It ends. Exhibit 10 ends at 1902.
Okay.
Now you see Robert Drum press a button. And you know he didn't end the body cam because Exhibit 14 picks up muted. It starts off muted. Someone within the police department looked at those body cam and he said between 1902 and 1919, this shouldn't be in the file. So they removed it. Now, what happened?
Okay.
What happened in 1902 that this body cam is edited? It's cut. You'll see that he made contact with Investigator Chad Mason.
What was happening at 1702?
You see that he's making
He's
making contact with Investigator Chad Mason, and you see Chad Mason is inside Mustafa's vehicle.
He's nervous.
He's nervous. He's like, he's got this weird look on his face, like, dude, fuck off.
Exactly. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
And then you see Robert Drum just go away, turn his body, and then he goes away. I mean, they literally chopped up from 1902 to 1919.
He basically said, "Hey man, what the fuck are you doing? I'm ripping the wire out.
Well,
get away from me.
You know what's really weird?
Get away from me. I'm ripping the wire."
At 1902, he makes contact with Chad Mason. At 1919 is that weird interaction.
And then later they're talking about the dash camera as if they're just talking about it for the first time.
And then at Exhibit 14,
Chad Mason's like, what the fuck, man? Back away. Get away from me with your fucking body cam.
At Exhibit 14, at 1932, you'll see Chad Mason walk up to Robert Drummond, and he's telling him, you have Rob Davis. He's like, what about cameras? Cameras? And then Chad Mason's like, oh, the wire's cut. I'm fucking hungry.
Target. He's
okay.
Like, oh,
and then Robert Drummond is acting like that's the first time he's asking Chad Mason about the dash camera. I have you on Exhibit 10 and Exhibit 19 making contact with Mustafa's dash camera.
I know we're going through this warrant and how he falsified his affidavit.
Fuck the warrant.
But I really want to go through that.
Fuck the warrant. We'll cover it on another podcast.
I really want to go through that when he's approaching him and he's like, "Hey man, what are you doing?
Look at this is
what are you doing?
This is Robert Drum. I'm going to fast forward. Okay.
And you know he said, you know later he told him, my body cam was off. Why are you approaching me with your body cam blinking red? It's on. What the fuck are you doing?
Someone looked at that body cam and said between 1902 and 1919 should not be in the server. They edited that portion out. They cut it.
They cut it out.
Now you can contact evidence.com and you can look at the metadata and find out where
and who.
Exactly.
Where and who?
And by the way, you can retrieve it because this is
it's in the file.
It's in the file. It's not in the it's not uploaded to the server.
It's not in Brad Haywood's file.
Exactly. They cut that portion before they upload it to the fucking server.
Let's go to it. I want to see it.
All right. So this is Robert Drum's body cam, exhibit 10.
Now I'm invested. I want to see it again because I know you showed it to me.
You start off, this is the timestamp, 6:50 when Robert Drum gets on the scene. I'm going to fast forward to where the body cam gets cut off. Right here is 1902. What happened at 1902 that the body cam is cut? And then, let's see.
Why did you turn it off?
Let's rewind.
Let's rewind.
Get to a driver?
It's to the driver.
Fast forward just a little bit. He's talking to a paramedic.
Did you want to...
Talking to a paramedic. Okay. All right, that's Casey Fines. He gives him the business card of the first officer on the scene.
That's the first guy on scene.
Is that the DC cop I saw driving away?
Who does he make contact with that he literally mutes his body cam? Oh, it's Chad Mason.
All right, so long story short.
And he cuts it right there.
He mutes it. By the way, it didn't cut.
He mutes it. It just stops.
Let me tell you how I know it's muted. By the way, you can contact evidence.com and you can look at the metadata, whether it was cut, whether it muted. You can find out that it's muted because the body cam exhibit 14, it picks up muted for a long period of time. Only when he presses a button, it unmutes. So you know he didn't end the body cam, he muted it. But someone looked at that body cam and said between 1902 and 1919, that shouldn't be in the server.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so you saw...
Where
all right,
where does it pick up?
Exhibit 14. Let's go to Exhibit 14. I'll remove that off that. Okay. All right, Exhibit 14. The other body cam of Robert Drum.
I mean, it just simply doesn't make sense why it stops right there. Unless somebody at the police department said, hey, we can't have that on the body cam. When you're talking to Chad Mason about how you fucking ripped the wire off the dash camera, we can't talk about that. How you manipulated Mustafa's dash camera, how you tampered with his evidence. We can't have that on body cam. So let's do this. Let's chop it up and then pretend like your body cam starts, what is it, 1902? That's when they stopped it.
And it picks up at 1919. This is Exhibit 14. And let's see.
Let's go.
You're going to see a body cam that starts off muted. And then only when Robert Drum presses a button, he's going to unmute it. So you know that this is not a chopped up body cam originally. Someone edited that body cam.
1919.
1919.
Okay. This is the beginning.
Yep.
Oh, I don't see his finger on the button.
You don't see his finger. Exactly. And that's what I'm telling you, that it's muted. It's not that he ended the body cam.
The police department.
Spliced it. Doodley, Captain Doodley.
Oh, he spliced it.
He knows what's in this file.
Look, he has something in his hands. So, what is he, like, he's armless?
Armless.
Oh, the body cam has a mind of its own.
Is that what prosecutor Sarah Sammy is telling the Judge Weimer that?
The body cam has a mind.
The body cam just unmute by itself.
Drum's body cam is going to uncover this entire case.
What happened between 1902 and 1919?
7:02 p.m. and 7:19 p.m. What took place on Robert Drum's body cam? The primary investigator, his body cam is spliced by the police department.
Look at where Chad Mason is.
Brandon Doodley.
Look,
you got some questions to answer.
Captain Doodley definitely have questions.
Captain Doodley
to answer.
You've got some questions.
Why was he so nervous in court?
Why was he so nervous in court?
I mean,
by the way, I've never seen internal affairs. Internal affairs. It's like, when you like take a turtle apart, it's what's underneath the shell, something you never see. That's internal affairs. But they were there like a naked turtle,
just to
and it
make
was
sure,
shivering.
just to make sure that the internal communication of the prosecutor with the police and the witnesses is not going to get released. As soon as the judge said, "I'm going to deny the release of the communication,"
Why?
He got up, and then there's 10 people behind him in suits
they all got
from
up.
internal affairs, got up and left. That's all they wanted.
They're like,
And Brad Haywood wants to tell us, I'm here for Mustafa. How the fuck are you here for Mustafa if you're not pushing hard on the communication of the prosecutor?
Judge Weimer says to Sarah Sammy, he says, "Are you being threatened by the police?" The real question is, Judge Weimer, are you being threatened by the police?
That's a good question.
Are you being threatened by the police? Why are you scared to release Sarah Sammy's communication with Internal Affairs, who's actively cutting Robert Drum's camera? Not cutting, they're splicing Robert Drum's body cam.
By the way, Brad Haywood,
When they're talking to Chad Mason, who tampered with the dash camera, he got on the stand and said, "Yes, I took that dash camera and I tampered with it and I violated chain of custody."
By the
and
way,
you're talking about his body cam with Robert Drum is missing? What's the big secret? What's the big secret?
One thing I cannot tolerate is someone that's going to lie to me, someone that's going to bullshit me. Because at this point, you're insulting my intelligence. You know, you can bullshit me on day one, but I have the body cams in the document. I have the whole entire file, and I'm leaking it on the internet. So when you have a conversation with me, and I'm specifically talking to Mustafa's lawyer, Brad Haywood, do not fucking bullshit me. Do not bullshit this community. The government gave you $100,000 to defend Mustafa, not protect the prosecutor, not protect the police department that's covering up and falsified this case. And we're going to continue to have a conversation.
I mean, last time I checked,
We're going to continue to have a conversation, an honest conversation.
last time I checked, Robert Drum is not a fucking octopus. He only has 2 hands. And you clearly see him holding a broom and a stick. A broom and a stick. What can you do with a broom and a stick? You can't turn on your body cam if you're holding a broom and a stick.
The extraction.
Like you're not an octopus.
Mustafa's defense attorney has not been honest with Mustafa about the extraction of the SD cards. He hasn't updated Mustafa. It's been a month. You haven't been honest with Mustafa about the reconstruction of his vehicle. It's been a month.
Look, show me what Robert Drum.
And that's a fucking problem.
Show me what the police spliced out of the body cam. I want to see it.
I mean, this is really interesting.
Let's take a
right
look.
here. You'll see when the body cam starts.
Oh, who's that inside
right
the car?
here is Chad Mason inside the vehicle.
And there's no body cam while he's ripping the wire out of the dash camera?
This is Chad Mason. He got on the stand and told Judge Weimer that I violated the chain of custody when I took possession of the dash camera. I took it back to my car, and instead of giving it to digital
Where
forensic.
is that body cam?
He has a body cam on. Where is his body cam?
Where is his body cam and Robert Drum's body cam? From that portion is missing. Did all the body cams decide we're not going to record this moment?
Chad Mason.
Or did Captain Doodley go into this file and say, "Oh, I'm going to splice Chad Mason's body cam from 7:02 p.m. to 7:19, and I'm also going to cut Robert Drum's body cam from 7:02 to 7:19. Let's just remove that from the file because clearly Chad Mason has his bald head all into Mustafa's car, and he's fucking around with the dash camera. And Robert Drum just happened to walk up on him.
The same police officer that admitted on the stand that he violated the chain of custody notified the Commonwealth attorney and the prosecutor when he violated the chain of custody, when he took the dash camera back to his car, downloaded the file, sat on them for 2 days, got a warrant 2 days later, uploaded the file to the server. Well, today we have a dash camera that's cut before impact.
Does Sarah Sammy
17 frames before 17 frames missing from inside the vehicle. No audio. The wire is cut. What are we talking about?
Does Sarah Sammy still want to tell Brad Haywood she's only after the truth? Brad, I'm just after the truth. I want to get to the truth. I don't care about Mustafa. I don't care about prosecuting this case. I just want to get to the truth. Well, Sarah Sammy, where is the fucking body cam? Where is Chad Mason's body cam? Where is that bald head body cam when he's ripping the wire out? Where is Robert Drum when he's talking to that bald head, ripping the wire out? Where is that body cam? Where is your communication, Miss truth seeker, you're seeking the truth, right? If you're seeking the truth, you would be the number one transparent person. Okay? You would be seeking transparency. When you find out there's audio to this dash camera, you're going to run to the community. You're going to run to Julie Carey, and you're going to say, Julie, we found the audio.
What do you mean?
Look.
Instead,
But you're not doing that.
Instead, they're instructing and they're ordering Julie Carey not to be there.
They ordered Julie Carey not to show up.
What did Pandek say to the judge?
She
Pandek,
slipped. Look, Pandek
the
is
sheriff's lawyer.
Pandek is a really old lady, and she'll have a slip up between now and then. I'm not talking about depends kind of slip up. She slipped up. She didn't wet herself. She slipped up and told the judge in another case, she said, Your Honor, Mustafa Aljazairi's case is not authorized to the media. Okay, so they specifically instructed Julie Carey's old ass not to show up to court. They specifically told her, listen, bitch, you're not showing up to court.
So the case is sealed.
You're going to show up when we call you. That's the only time you're going to show up.
So the case is sealed. They put a seal on the case. But yet Julie Carey is releasing an edited version from Mustafa's dash camera.
How does she have his dash camera? I thought it was sealed.
How does that make any sense? So they released a edited version of the dash camera.
Julie Carey released an edited version. Julie Carey.
They edit the dash camera and they'll release it on national television, NBC4. But this case is sealed. Now, I'll tell you a conversation that I had with Mustafa's lawyer, Brad Haywood. In the conversation, he says, do you remember that case, the Ledoux Cross case, 19 years ago?
Yeah.
Brad Haywood tells me, unfortunately, the only reason that this case people got justice.
The Ledoux Cross, whatever the name is.
The only reason they got justice is because they got media attention.
And they got money and they're white.
Wait a minute. Exactly. Now, hold on now.
Because they're white.
You're telling me that the only reason they got justice is because there is media attention on the case? But yet, when I ask
Doesn't he have a whole organization?
He has a whole civil rights organization. He's active on Twitter, on social media.
Isn't he best friends with Julie Carey?
He said he's best friend with Julie Carey, and he knows her for a long time.
So what's missing here?
Where the fuck are you from coming out and saying you have no problem filing a Brady motion, telling the judge that the children have been weaponized against Mustafa, a 9, a 10, a 14, abused in the process by the police. You have no problem. By the prosecutor, abused. The prosecutor knows that the children were abused. And that's in a Brady on the record. You have no problem telling the judge that the vehicle is crushed and staged. You have no problem telling him that, Your Honor, Investigator Davis falsified my client's statement. You have no problem doing that. Where are you from telling this community that, hey, this is what's happening in my client's case?
The real question
Why
is,
are you not on the media?
The real question is, has Brad Haywood been threatened by someone?
That's a good question.
By someone not to go public. Has he been threatened? Because according to the protective order, it does not stop him from talking about the case. It doesn't stop him.
What protective order? The file is already on the internet.
The file is already on the internet. So has he been threatened by either the prosecutor, by the police, by the judge, or by Evelyn Horton not to talk about this case publicly?
I mean,
why is he not talking about it publicly?
I'll tell you, a big problem I have is that this Brad Haywood puts in a motion.
Why has he not done any public interviews, especially when the media has tarnished Mustafa's reputation based on clearly what you're going through lies, based on what he says in court are Brady violations? Why has he not attacked this case or approached this case through the media?
I mean, I don't know. Does it sound like it sure sounds like they're patching this case up? And
That's
I'll tell you why I say that. Because Brad Haywood puts in a Brady motion, and he said, Your Honor, Mustafa's vehicle was not reconstructed. I need money from the government to hire an independent expert to reconstruct this vehicle. Now, 2.5 years ago, there's a judge order to reconstruct the vehicle. You have a body cam that shows Investigator Robert Drum says Prosecutor Sarah Sammy is not, as she said, on body cam, basically blocking the crash reconstruction.
I know what your question is. You're saying if there was an order to inspect this car prior, why are they doing it again?
Why are they doing it now?
Why are they paying that much money for it?
Now, the prosecutor replies to Brad Haywood, Mustafa's defense, that we allowed the independent expert to reconstruct his vehicle. No one blocked him. No one stopped him from reconstructing the vehicle.
Which is bullshit.
Which is bullshit. I have a body cam. On body cam, literally, the investigator,
Robert Drum
says
to the independent expert,
the prosecutor, Sarah Sammy, said, you cannot touch the vehicle.
Sammy said you can't touch the
car.
Now,
my question is, Brad Haywood puts in a Brady motion, but in court, he tells the judge, I'm satisfied with the independent experts
that was not allowed
work
to inspect the car.
that was not allowed to inspect the car. So he lets the prosecutor get away with saying we allowed the independent expert to reconstruct the vehicle, and the defense attorney says I'm satisfied with the independent expert reconstruction. Wait a minute. So why are you reconstructing the vehicle
if
2.5 years ago?
If you're satisfied with it.
If you're satisfied, and the question is, why are you not holding the prosecutor accountable for lying on the record? Because you have a body cam that she blocked the reconstruction 2.5 years ago. It sure sounds you're helping this county patch this up on the record. I mean, am I wrong? Am I not seeing?
Look, it looks good.
I'm looking at body cams in documents.
It looks good when he files 14 Brady motions, but then you have to look at the order that the judge is going to sign. What was the outcome of those 14 Brady motions? I mean, it sounds good on the transcript. It sounds great.
They want us to come out on this podcast and say
14 Brady motions were passed. Granted,
we won Brady motions.
But the fuck?
What is the order?
What is the order? What does the order say specifically?
Mustafa is kept in the dark. Okay,
Mustafa's kept in the dark.
The prosecutor communication is not released. You don't know. Mustafa doesn't know what body cams are going to be released, what body cams is not going to be released. Mustafa's kept completely in the dark.
Till this day, he has not seen those body cams.
Why
police are actively fucking around with evidence, fucking around with witnesses, and completely lying on this whole case. Till this day, after how many lawyers? 7 lawyers? Not a single lawyer went to that jail and said, hey, Mustafa, let me show you. I mean, I'm getting $100,000 from the county. Let me take 4 fucking hours from my day and show you whatever you want to see. What do you want to see, buddy? What do you want to see? I'm your lawyer. I'm getting all this fucking money. Let me take time out of my fucking day to show you what is your concern. Let me build some trust with you. Okay? What do you want to see? You want to see communication, phone communication? I don't think it's important, but you know what? You know what? Given the shit you have gone through, given the amount of misconduct, let me take out 2 days out of the week where I come in here and I'm going to show you what you want to see. I don't think it's important, but to build that trust with you, let me just do it anyways, for the fuck of it. I'm getting all this money. Let me just take time out of my day to make sure that you trust me. I'm going to show you the information that you want to see. Okay? I don't think it's important, Mustafa, but you know what? In order to build trust with you, given that you've been fucked over by 5-6 lawyers, and they've all been fucking around, okay? I'm going to make sure I build that trust with you, okay? Because I believe you're innocent. And I'm not going to say in private, okay? I'm going to go to the fucking media, and I'm going to say, this man got in a car accident, and the police fucked around. They destroyed exculpatory evidence. They tampered with the witnesses. They've abused children, in this case, in order to get a statement negative about you. They went around the block where you lived, and they've told every person you've interacted with that Mustafa just killed that woman and her baby. And now let me get a statement of what do you think about Mustafa? I just told you he killed a woman and her baby. Okay? Now let me start my body cam after saying that. What do you think of Mustafa, the woman killer? What do you think of Mustafa, the baby killer? Tell me what you think. After instructing people that Mustafa did this on purpose and fled the scene, okay, now you want to conduct interviews? I mean, I find it really interesting that you have 800 pages of discovery material, and you want to tell me out of like 30 people, not a single person said he was a nice guy. Oh, Mustafa, yeah, he lives around the block.
You know, I'll tell you.
He's a really nice guy. Not a single person said that.
I'll tell you what's really interesting is the police department never interviewed his ex-girlfriend. You don't find that weird?
I find that very weird, given that the ex-girlfriend was sitting between his parents saying, this guy is innocent. He would never do this shit. Okay, and the police
So the
never interviewed
ex-girlfriend
her.
sleeps in the parking lot. Mustafa gets beaten up inside the jail by a
She
correctional
sleeps
officer.
here for months, asking for justice for Mustafa.
You're claiming that Mustafa is this abusive person. That Mustafa is abusive, but you're not interviewing the ex-girlfriend?
That's
I
odd.
find that really interesting.
That's really weird.
Is it because the ex-girlfriend is defending him and is there for him?
By the way,
and is going to say something good about him? That you
Ex-girlfriend
wanna
of 6 years.
Ex-girlfriend of 6 years. You're going to leave her completely out of this case. How does that make any sense?
Actually, let me tell you something. There's an officer, Vargas.
Oh, Officer Vargas.
Hold on a second.
That's right.
Officer Vargas.
Let's talk about Officer Vargas.
Officer Vargas with Prince William County actually paid a visit to Mustafa's ex-girlfriend. She visited her at her apartment. And what did she tell her? She said, if I were you, I would back off the Mustafa case. I would back off from that family. Why would the police secretly visit a person who's supporting Mustafa? I mean, you have Robert Drum, you have Chief Newsham, you have the prosecutor instructing police officers to visit people and tell them, hey, you're saying something nice about this guy, back the fuck off. Imagine you sitting at home and an officer with a badge shows up, authority shows up to your house and tells you, hey, back the fuck up off Mustafa's case. Okay? You don't think that person is going to be fucking terrified? That the police are actively threatening anybody that says something nice about Mustafa? They're actively threatening. If that's what they're doing to people that are saying nice things, imagine what they're doing to people that are behind closed doors and they're coaching.
Well,
on
we don't
what
have to imagine. We do not have to imagine when I literally have a body cam where investigator Robert Drum is calling the customer service of the dash camera, and he's telling him Mustafa is a horrible human being. He killed a mother and a child.
He's calling tech support.
He's tech support for the dash camera.
And he's telling them this guy's a murderer.
He wants to know, is the family going to be able to extract this dash camera off the clouds?
By the way, there's one
he's
guy.
He's not asking about the audio, and
there's
he's making
one person
to the point where tech support is one person.
One person from tech support.
That's okay, and
that they've subpoenaed
to the
as
point
a witness.
where the tech support gets. He's like, I can't believe there are people out there like this. Thank you for getting him off the street.
Wow.
What the fuck are we talking about? I mean,
that is crazy.
Let me see if I can pull it up for you. I mean,
and by the way,
you want to tell me there's no bias?
He's weaponizing tech support from Rexing against Mustafa. Instead of asking them, hey, I have a dash cam. Can you see if you can get the audio
my
for me?
digital forensic Zymus is telling me there's audio. Is there a way that you can get the audio for me? Oh, you already have the audio because your investigator cut and muted this dash camera. So now you want to make sure it's not on the cloud anywhere, and you're weaponizing tech support against.
I mean, that is crazy.
Let's listen to him.
That I've been a cop for 18 years, and it drives me crazy, some of these things that we have to jump through, but everybody has their day, so I guess.
And by the way, pause a second. He's basically telling tech support, it's so sad in this country that we have to go through a process where a person is innocent before they go to trial. It's so sad that there's a process like that. I want to just choke this guy. He's talking about Mustafa. He just wants to throw Mustafa in prison, okay, and just be done and over with. He's so sad that there's chain of custody, that there's policy and procedure that you have to go through. He's sad that there's a judicial system where the man is going to get a day in court. He's so sad, and he's openly telling tech support from Rexing that he's so sad there's a judicial
By the way,
system.
He's doing that
there's
with,
a process.
He's doing that with every witness.
He's telling every witness, I'm so sad that there's a process that I have to go through. I can't just fuck around and throw this guy in prison. I have to follow policy and procedure. We have to go through actual evidence. I'm so sad, but I mean, I want to just pull the trigger. Isn't that what he says?
We got to get our ducks in a row before we pull the trigger.
I wish I could just get these ducks in a row and just fucking pull the trigger on this guy. Okay? That's what I'm doing. I'm getting the ducks in a row so that when I pull the trigger, it looks like I shot a couple of ducks.
He literally told Elizabeth Lee, another witness,
he's getting his ducks
in a row before I pull the trigger.
So the question really to Brandon Doodley, Chief Newsham, Amy Ashworth, Are all your officers getting their ducks in a row before they pull the trigger? Are you helping them get their ducks in a row by deleting these body cams?
Why do you think her communication is dangerous to be released?
Manipulating this evidence, by manipulating the witnesses, by threatening some of the witnesses, like Mustafa's ex-girlfriend, where Officer Vargas visits her at her apartment to tell her, hey, back off the Mustafa Aljazairi case. That's crazy.
Should be good enough for now, and I will tell my Commonwealth attorney. Are you the guy that I'm going to be talking to if this comes to I need somebody for court?
I'd have to talk to my boss about that. Honestly, I'm not sure. We've never really had any situations like this in the past, so I'm not sure how that would work.
In the history of Rexing, in the history of Rexing, they've never had an investigator try to weaponize tech support against the person. They've never had to do that before. They've never gotten the police from a investigator to try to weaponize tech support. What is tech support going to do? He's going to come in and say, yeah, I'm going to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. That guy's a murderer. How do you know? I'm tech support and I saw the dash camera. The investigator told me what it said. He wants to make
sure that tech support, this company, does not retrieve the audio.
Exactly.
That's what they're scared from. I mean, Digital Forensic admit that it has audio. She testified to it.
They're scared that tech support is going to give the family
the audio.
Because I have an email from tech support, and I'm talking to that tech support guy right there. He's the only person in tech support that when you contact Rexing, that's who you're going to get. And this guy told me he can retrieve the audio if I give him the original files. He says, I can get the audio no matter what.
We're sitting 2.5 years after, 2.5 years later, and we still
the prosecutor
talking about where's the audio.
And the prosecutor wants to say, now that the judge granted an order to examine the dash camera, an order put forth by the defense, I want to bring in my investigators too.
And the defense attorney, Brad Hayward, who the government is paying him to get an independent expert, is not gonna, doesn't know. He went in last week. I don't know. I have to check. So wait a minute. Is he going in?
By the way,
did he go in? Oh, you're relying on the prosecutor's independent expert.
By the way, to Sarah Sammy, do you not trust in Kathy Zymas? I mean, you seem to have her on social media all over the place at the police department website. Do you not trust what Kathy Zymas said? Why are you getting, whoever the fuck you're getting, why are you getting a person outside of the police department when Kathy Zymas is your digital forensics expert? She's been there for over 20 years. Why don't you call Kathy Zymas to extract the audio? Or do you not have faith in digital forensics for the police department? I mean, if Kathy Zymas can't do it, she hasn't done it in the past 2.5 years. Why are you bringing somebody from outside the police department? You're basically saying, I have no faith in what this police department's capability. I have no faith in Kathy Zymas. We might as well fire Kathy Zymas because we're giving her our tax dollars to do the work that she's supposed to be doing. And if she can't do it, fire her and hire that expert that you're going to rely on. Why do we have Kathy Zymas? I mean, what are we, just paying her mortgage, paying her car payments? Just to sit around and fuck around at digital forensics?
I mean, this should have been done.
If she can't do it, get rid of her.
This should have been done 2.5 years ago. And now that Mustafa's defense is hiring an independent expert, they're bringing in their independent expert. And I find the turn of events is really weird. I mean, it's Mustafa's defense attorney is not relying on his independent expert. He's relying on the county's independent expert.
That's
and
crazy.
he's like, Amar, I trust the independent expert that the prosecutor is bringing in. How? How are you trusting the prosecutor when she's been lying for 2.5 years, when she's literally lying on the record right in front of you?
The real question is, why do you have no faith in Kathy Zymas? Why do they not have any faith in Kathy Zymas?
What happened to the lip reader?
What happened to the lip reader? Exactly. Where is your lip reader? I thought you were relying on a lip reader. Now you want to bring in an expert?
I'll tell you something that's really interesting. Today, tomorrow.
I want to see that video, though.
Which one?
You just like glossed over.
You want to listen to this?
No, fuck this. I want to see the video when Robert Drum is walking up
Exhibit 14.
Milk Dud as he's into Mustafa's car.
Did you just call him Milk Dud?
He looks like a Milk Dud. I want to see I want to see his reaction when Robert Drum shows up behind him and he's like, whoa,
Oh, you're gonna be.
What are you doing?
See, once you watch that,
I'm ripping the wire out. What the fuck are you doing?
Once you see that, everything is gonna start making sense. Because when he says the wire is cut, I'm fucking hungry, and then you read the transcript what he testified on court that he violated the chain of custody, you're gonna realize why this body cam is cut. And when it starts at 1919, it's fucking weird. He's doing something to the dash camera.
Go through. I want to see it.
Okay.
I've seen it, but I'd like to see it again. I want to see it with everybody that's watching, and I want everybody to think about why would Milk Dud Chad Mason have this reaction when Robert Drum is approaching him, and why did the body cam cut off all of a sudden? Why is Milk Dud's body cam not recording, and why is Robert Drum's body cam cut off right there on the spot? Why? Why? What are they so scared of as soon as they get close to Mustafa's car?
Right,
what are they so afraid of?
I'm ready for you.
Let's go.
So this is 1920. This is Exhibit 14. You see Chad Mason right there in the corner, right here.
He's inside Mustafa's car.
He's inside Mustafa's car. Okay, he has a body cam rolling, but that body cam is not in the file.
The body cam is missing.
And he's taking pictures of the car, inside the car. Those pictures are not in the file.
Interesting.
Look.
Let's see.
So he's inside the car, and look at his reaction.
Let's look at his reaction. I'm going to make a full screen, actually, so that everybody could see.
By the way,
look at that.
Look at his reaction.
He says, oh.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, man. He's like, oh.
And he turns Robert Drum turns away. Now, it's interesting because Robert Drum pretends.
Look at that. Where's his finger?
We're gonna watch it one more time. We're gonna watch it one more time. Now, what's disturbing is Robert Drum pretends that the first time he finds out about the body cam at 1932.
Go back a little bit when he first approaches him. Go back. Right there. Let's see that.
Is
reaction.
he cutting the wire right here?
I think he's cutting the wire right there. Look. Hey, man. Hey. You're getting close.
Why are you having that reaction? I mean, 19.
Listen. When he turned away,
yeah,
is that where he pulled the wire out? Is that where he pulled the wire out?
Where's the wire?
Is that when he turns away? Why did he turn away and come back? Look. Hey, man. What are you doing? Back up.
Where are the pictures?
I'm working over here. Back up. I'm fucking around, man. I told you, back up.
You see that body cam that he's wearing? He's wearing a body cam. By the way, Chad Mason's body cam is all chopped up. You see him in the hospital. You see a portion on the scene. But his body cam...
Chad.
That's the body cam. This is his body cam. Where is his body cam? Why isn't his lawyer even asking for the body cam?
Where is the video from Chad Mason's body cam at what time?
This is at 1920.
1920. Where is Chad Mason's body cam? The officer that said,
so 720.
I violated chain of custody. I tampered with the dash camera.
So 1720, that body cam should be given to Brad Haywood.
It's exculpatory evidence.
Now, Chad Mason
He's literally tampering with the car.
Understand. By the way, we're going to have a podcast specific to the transcript of Chad Mason and what he told Judge Weimer on the stand. Chad Mason says, when I got on scene, I took the dash camera back to my car. I violated the chain of custody. I violated department policy. What I was supposed to do is give the dash camera to digital forensic, have a warrant, and give it to digital forensic. Digital forensic, Zymus, is supposed to upload it to the server. Instead, what he did, he took the dash camera back to his car. He removed the SD card, plugged the SD card into the computer, his laptop, downloaded the file, put the SD card back in the dash camera, put it back on the windshield where he found that dash camera. So we know the dash camera is not damaged from the accident. He saw it on the windshield. He said, I contacted the Commonwealth attorney, the prosecutor. Wait a minute. So you let her know that you violated department policy? He says, Mustafa's, at the time, Blake asked Chad Mason, at what point did you know that this dash camera does not have audio? He said, the Commonwealth attorney told me.
Oh,
wait a minute.
The prosecutor told him?
You're in possession of the dash camera.
He's saying the prosecutor told
He
him
said
there's
the
no
prosecutor told him there's no
audio.
audio.
Even though he has custody of the camera.
And then later, he says, I told the prosecutor there is no audio. Wait a minute. You just testified that the Commonwealth attorney is the one. He said, at what point did you know that it didn't have audio? He said, the prosecutor told me. Wait a minute.
Interesting. So he says she told him, and then moments later he says, I told her there's no
told
audio.
her.
So you can't have both statements true. Either one is
So
true.
he's
under oath.
And he's under oath. He takes a dash camera, downloads the files, sits on them for 2 days.
Without a warrant.
Without a warrant. 2 days later, gets a warrant. He's the one that uploaded the file to the server, evidence.com, to the police department server. Well, today the dash camera has no audio. It's cut before impact, and there are 17 frames missing from the camera facing inside the vehicle.
So he chopped up the video, removed the audio.
This reaction is weird.
And it's not until...
You're literally doing something to the fucking car, to the fucking dash camera. You're talking about, I mean, I'm going to show you another body cam where he says, the wire is cut. Oh, I'm fucking hungry. Changes the whole conversation. And Robert Drum is pretending that that's the first time he finds out about the dash camera.
I mean,
what is this reaction? What are you talking about here?
So
with
this
Chad
is
Mason?
what time is this?
This is 1920.
Okay, 19. Let's write that down.
Now,
1920. Robert Drum and Milk Dud here are at the car, right? They're at the car, and you want to tell me they never discussed the dash camera?
Well,
let's go.
I mean, Mohammed,
go to your next video.
Exhibit 10, Exhibit 10.
Go to your next video.
Exhibit 10 and Exhibit 14, those both are Robert Drum's body cam. Between 1902 and 1919, your interaction with Chad Mason is what? What did you talk about? Where's the missing body cam? We know it's there. We know they cut it before, and
Internal Affairs spliced it out.
Spliced it before they uploaded it to the department server.
Interesting.
Where is it?
Can you go to that body cam?
When he's like, I'm hungry?
When he's like, I'm hungry. I really, really want to see it. And I wrote down 1920 so that your viewers can compare that conversation and that reaction. So they can compare that reaction and that conversation into 1920. We want to look at the time. We're going to observe the time. And we're going to observe the reaction to the mention that there's a dash camera. Let's go through it. And you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out what's going on here.
I got it.
You got it? Okay, let's play. Go ahead.
So this is Exhibit 14.
What time is that?
1932.
1932. So 12 minutes later from what you just saw. Let's play it.
Specifically 1932, 29 seconds.
Let's go.
You got thing?
No, there's this first rotate up there.
How about cameras? We got any cameras?
So they have a dash cam on the.
We got Target.
Yeah, but this has a dash cam.
Target's going to pick up big time.
Is it still running?
I can't. No, the cable.
Pause it. He said, is it still running? At 1930, 12 minutes after that interaction that you just saw at Mustafa's car, he's asking him now, is it still running? You mean to tell me that you and Milk Dud were at Mustafa's car and you never said anything about the dash camera? Now, 12 minutes later, listen, we know these officers are performing for the body cam.
I mean, this officer right here.
They're literally performing for the body cam.
Let me tell you how you know. This officer immediately points to his body cam, this one right here, and then turns off his body cam.
He turns off his body cam right there.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I don't know if it was broke before or broke now, but it's broke. I am starving like mom.
I'll get you some food in a minute here.
I just need water.
You're starving like a motherfucker?
Look, you know what's really funny is that this guy on the left that you said...
knows.
No. Listen, you said this guy points to his body cam, but Chad Mason and Drum keeps his body cam rolling. You know why? Because they've already agreed. Listen, we're going to act for this. Okay, we're going to act this out. This other guy's like, hey, you know your body cam's still on? He's like, oh, shit. He turns around. You see how he turns around? He's like, damn, like their body cam is on. I just gave him the sign and the body cam's... But Robert Drum and Chad Mason have already agreed and decided that he's going to keep his body cam rolling so they can perform for the body cam in that moment. I mean, this is 12 minutes after. You want to tell me the two main investigators are sitting at the car for 12 minutes and they never said, hey, is that thing still on? Is it still rolling? Is it damaged? Does it work? You want to tell me 2 investigators of 14 and 20 years, and they never talked between each other about the dash camera, if it's still rolling, if it's not broken, if it's working? They never said that until he said, you know what? In 12 minutes, we're going to huddle up and we're going to talk about this dash cam, and let's just play like it's normal. Okay, I'm going to keep my body cam rolling, but let's just talk about it. And then the other officers, like, as soon as they mention dash camera, he's like, what? Why are they not turning it off? Because they've already fucking agreed that they're going to act for the body cam.
Chopped up body cam, spliced body cam, muted body cam, missing body cam.
Listen, Drum and Mason's body cam have to be released to the attorney. Whatever internal affairs spliced out, they have to release that. The same way Andrew Margiotta's body cam was in a separate compartment at the police department. It was in a separate file. They have to release it. It wasn't until Brad really pushed for it. He really pushed for it that all of a sudden the prosecutor says, "Oh, here it is."
Look,
it was in another file.
We've been dealing with this for 2.5 years. Literally, I have the file, the body cams, and I've leaked them on the internet. Now, this podcast is not to attack the judge, attack the defense attorney. Absolutely not. We're not telling this community that the judge is impartial, that Mustafa's defense attorney is not working for him. Absolutely not. We're having a conversation. The details that are coming out of this case stinks. I mean, we're watching this case in real time. We're watching that the police department crushed and staged Mustafa's vehicle, falsified Mustafa's statements, weaponized a 9, a 10, a 14, and a 16 against Mustafa, children that have been abused in the process. We have a Google Nest video that shows the children loved Mustafa.
By the way, the Google Nest videos are nowhere in any of the police reports.
Why? Why is it nowhere in the file?
You want to tell me premeditation of murder occurred and the police department is not interested in any video from the apartment?
We're asking questions.
Get the fuck out of here.
We're asking questions. The details that are coming out of this case, Mustafa's foot is on the brake the whole entire time. Mustafa avoided every vehicle, made it to the 4th lane. The SUV turned into Mustafa.
She turned into the 4th lane.
Never hit the brake.
She never hit the brake. She was speeding. She's going 13 miles an hour over the speed limit.
The details
according to the data recorder.
The details show this is a car accident. Now, why is it such a mystery? Why can't you reconstruct the vehicle? 2.5 years ago, there's a judge order to reconstruct the vehicle. We paid $5,000 to have an independent expert, only to be blocked by the prosecutor. Shouldn't she be interested? Prosecutor Sarah Sammy, shouldn't she be interested? She's not interested.
She's not interested in the truth.
She blocks the reconstruction.
She's not interested in the truth at all. She's interested in pinning the charge on Mustafa, regardless of what the facts show. Regardless of what the facts are, she wants to pin the charge on Mustafa, and I think it's personal. Honestly, I think this is personal.
Evidence showed there is animosity against Mustafa, animosity against the family. That's what the evidence showed. This prosecutor literally during a Brady motion turns around and tells the prosecutor that the family tells the judge that the family is threatening her on TikTok. Throwing allegations like this without evidence show that this prosecutor has animosity against the family. She literally told the judge that we're setting fire to the building right here, right behind me, to the courthouse building.
I mean, as you can see, the building
She told the judge that we're manufacturing bombs in the parking lot. She told the judge, Judge Weimer, that the mother assaulted her in court. Mustafa's defense attorney should and could throw her off the case.
He has to throw her off the case.
This prosecutor Sarah Sammy, lied on the record. She's been doing it for 2.5 years.
The officers lied. They lied in their warrant. We just looked at the affidavit of Robert Drum, and he flat out lied about talking to Mustafa. He flat out lied about it.
This defense attorney literally has all the details, all the material to throw her off the case. She's been lying. She has animosity. By the way, by law, you as a prosecutor, you cannot have animosity against Mustafa. You cannot have animosity against the family. Otherwise, by law, you can be thrown off the case. This lawyer has all the evidence to throw her off the case. This lawyer, Brad Haywood, has all the evidence that this prosecutor has been lying for 2.5 years. Now,
he has all the evidence that the police destroyed and tampered with Mustafa's exculpatory evidence.
he has
Evidence that would have shown Mustafa is innocent of all the allegations. He has all the evidence to write up a motion and bring it before a judge, a motion to dismiss. That Mustafa can never get a fair trial. He can never get a fair trial. Never, because you can't undestroy that vehicle. You cannot undestroy what you've destroyed. You cannot undelete what Chad Mason deleted. Okay? He admitted to violating the chain of custody. Robert Drum is actively lying, actively tampering with witnesses. Brad Haywood has every right and every piece of information to file a motion to dismiss because Mustafa can never get a fair trial. Based on the police's action, based on the misconduct, based on the tampering and destroying of evidence, there's no way Mustafa can get a fair trial. You can reconstruct that car all you want, up and down, all around. You will never get an image of the car before they destroyed it. And they unjustifiably destroyed it. You made a video at the junkyard where it took you literally 3 minutes to go into the car and pull out the ACM. Okay? You did not have to chop up the driver and passenger fender. You did not have to chop up the roof. You didn't have to chop up the A pillar, the B pillar. You didn't have to extend the frame. You didn't have to get the transmission drive shaft out of its socket. You didn't have to shift the engine forward. You didn't have to do any of that.
I get really angry listening to Mustafa's defense attorney, Brad Haywood, when I tell him...
There's no way to put those things back, by the way. No way.
He says, we're just going to have to tell the jury that. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you... Aren't you his defense attorney?
I mean...
Should you not be putting this in a motion to fucking dismiss?
Amar, how does that make sense?
How does it make sense?
How does it make sense? You're going to tell the jury exactly what? The officer tampered with witnesses. The police destroyed his car. The police actively abuse and weaponize children against Mustafa. The police destroyed his car, so we can't really get a fair reconstruction of what the car looked like, which car hit what. I'm sorry, jury, we don't have a steering angle because Robert Drum decided to delete it off the report. I'm sorry, jury, the children's testimony is not accurate because Officer Romero, told the children Mustafa fled the scene after crashing the car intentionally, killing their mother and leaving their baby sister to bleed out to death. Is that what you're going to tell the jury? I mean, the jury's going to look at you, they're going to laugh at you. They're going to be like, what the fuck is this? What kind of case is this?
Mustafa's defense attorney, Brad Haywood, should put this in a motion to dismiss. If he was honest with Mustafa, if he's really Mustafa's lawyer, you should put this in a motion to dismiss. And one thing that I'll tell you, sir, you're going easy on the prosecutor, and that's not acceptable. We're going to continue to monitor the details that are coming out of this case, and we're not going to jump to the conclusion that Brad Haywood is not working for Mustafa. We're going to let this community decide for itself. Unfortunately for this county, we have the body cams, we have the document. I have a giant platform. Our last podcast in the jail parking lot hit 4,000K. 4,000 views.
Wow, 4,000 views.
4,000 views. Do you know what that means? I mean, I started off with a butter knife, and over 2 years, now this podcast
is like a chainsaw.
It's like a chainsaw. Like I walk in with a fucking chainsaw. This podcast is so powerful that this community is listening. And if you think that you've got Julie Carey in your pocket, well, I don't need Julie Carey with NBC4 to report on this case. I've got the file. I've got the body cams.
We are the media.
We are the media in the Mustafa Aljazairi case.
And it's an unbiased, facts-only media.
And if you think...
Facts only.
If you think that you're going to bring in a lawyer to patch up this case for the county, think again. The cat is already out the hat.
The cat's out of the bag.
Hat, bag, whatever the fuck you want.
Out of the bag and you can't put it back.
I've got multiple cats coming out of this bag. Okay, I've got my arm so deep up this prosecutor asshole. Literally, I'm crawling out of her mouth and I'm speaking for her. On that note, I want to thank everybody for being here. This is not another boring podcast. Mustafa through the police body cam. Mustafa, before we end the podcast, we're waiting. Mustafa is patiently waiting for the reconstruction of his vehicle. There's a judge order, and the government already gave money to an independent expert.
Over $100,000.
Over $100,000 to get an independent expert to reconstruct the car accident, to extract the SD card, who the police department, Officer Zymus says, testified to that there is audio.
The steering angle. I mean,
the steering angle.
2.5 years later.
The scan from the Leica when they originally scanned the vehicle at the scene, Mustafa's vehicle and the SUV.
That data.
The raw data, the steering angle. So, Brad Haywood, you have a lot of work to do, sir. Don't go easy on the prosecutor because the community is watching you.
And this prosecutor's playing
This community is watching. This prosecutor is absolutely playing him. I mean, he tells me, oh, I don't want to kick off this prosecutor off the case because she makes me feel smart. What the fuck are you talking about? She's playing you. She is fucking playing you. Stephanie Buck, a prosecutor that looks like a fucking wet beaver that's been collecting wood all day. She's literally, I mean, or a Sarah Sammy that looks like a little fucking boy. A fucking prosecutor that literally hates men. Doesn't just not like men. She fucking hates men. I mean, I can go on and on about what these prosecutors are doing, but I'm here to tell you that these prosecutors, this county is playing you. Now, we're asking for real results in the Mustafa Aljazairi case, and you don't have to worry about me telling you that you're not doing your job. This community is observing the details that are coming out of this case. Now, if you think that you're just going to put in a Brady and we're not going to watch what the order is, that's literally is going to be on the record. We're going to go over every detail and what came out of your Brady motion. I mean, is this a patch up for the county, or are you really working for Mustafa? And if you are, we're going to tell this community the details that are coming out of this case. You don't have to worry about my opinion. At this point, this case that is so-called sealed is all over the internet. On that note, I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you for being here. This is not another boring podcast. Mustafa through the police body cam. Judge Carol Weimer, Mustafa's defense attorney Brad Haywood, you are under the microscope.
If any of that is posted anywhere on the internet, we're going to have problems. Whatever copies have been made of that, those need to be destroyed.
Okay.
Okay? If they get disclosed, that is going to put me in a situation where I will have to withdraw from the case.
Okay.
If you disclose that information in any way, all of it needs to be destroyed now. But if you disclose it in any way, it's going to put me in a position where I will have to withdraw from the case. If you all choose to go on the internet and try to publicize this stuff, that's going to create real problems.
Okay.
You can't do it, is what I'm telling you. You cannot do it. I will have to move to withdraw from the case.
Okay.